Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin with the Boys. I have an outstanding podcast for you. But before we get into that, let's talk about the best vehicle to ever put rubber on the road, the Chevy Silverado, the most durable, reliable vehicle on the road. Silverado is strong and dependable, as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. Chevy Silverado, modern and advanced with a ton of grit, a partner in getting things done, especially when it comes to the heart and soul of a pickup truck, the bed. With Silverado, you get the most functional bed of any competitor. Best in class standard cargo volume. The inner gate folds to a large step up for easily getting in and out of the bed. Available industry first power. Wait, I did this last time.
Right.
Yeah. Available industry.
We're letting the people know that this is the
available industry
first.
But why would it not say industry first? Available industry dash first power up dash down tailgate. That's how you want to write it. That's how I'm going to read it, right?
I got that, but what we're trying to let people know is that this is the industry first power up down tailgate.
And they also need to tell them about the available multi-flex tailgate that we've been telling you about with 6 convenient configurations. All this makes the bed of the Silverado work harder and smarter. Silverado, strong, advanced, dependable, and hardworking. A lot of adversity through that ad read. Not a lot, just kind of little right in the middle. And it rattled me.
Yeah, it's all good. It happens. People put a few dashes in there. It can shake it up a little bit. It ruffles the feathers.
I am not a punctuation guy. I don't know what the fuck a dash even is for.
Right. So when you randomly throw it in there, it kind of like throws.
Yeah. My brain goes, why is this here?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
But also shout out Freeland Chevrolet.
Yeah, because they're outstanding.
If you're in the greater Nashville area, go check out the boys at Freeland Chevrolet.
Yeah.
They'll hook it up. Ask for Cameron, Mike, Dirty Mike, and the boys. Just tell them that the boys sent you. I think they're going to hook you up with something nice, and I think you're going to like it.
You're going to like it quite a bit, dude. It's a beautiful thing. The Silverado is really everything.
Yeah.
Not just a Silverado, but that Suburban. I got a Suburban recently.
Yeah?
Let me tell you, the ultimate family vehicle.
Do you love it?
I absolutely love it. I loved it so much. I told my wife, I said, hey, I might get the Tahoe and trade in. And she kind of got like sad. She's like, well, I always kind of like the fact you're a truck guy. And I went, yeah, you're right, 100%. So it's kind of a weird thing. Like I see this thing I'm not really allowed to have in the distance, and I'm liking what I'm seeing.
So you got the Suburban?
The Suburban.
So were you one of those guys like back in the day, like when you saw your boys and their family had like a Suburban, you're like, oh man, that's fun.
They have. I thought to myself, they have their shit together.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you.
Also, I had a boy in high school, like we were talking about coming back from Barstool HQ, which we'll get into. I had a boy who had the Chevy Tahoe with the subs in the back, and that shit fucking bumped.
Dude, I know.
Playing Mike Jones, playing T-Pain. All that shit, dude.
Ooh, we were rocking that recently.
We were rocking that last night, right at 8 o'clock.
JP was karaoke in it. JP, you trying to get on the mic and karaoke some T-Pain?
Let's hear something.
Oh.
Hit us with something real quick.
Which one you want? Which T-Pain song?
Buy you a drink.
Yeah. One by.
Oh, this is awesome.
What's can I have a little instrumental?
Can I have a little instrumental? Let's go.
Yeah, turn my mic up.
I got no snare.
I got no snare. Turn
in my
mic
headphones.
Yay.
Oh! yeah.
Does this have lyrics or no? Or he's not singing? Yeah. How's it start?
Snap your fingers.
Do your step.
Oh.
You can do it all by yourself. Baby girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. I'm Juice Box. Whoa,
you're Juice Box?
What's the...
T-Pain.
I know, but...
What's the instrumental doing, though?
It's Juice Box, man.
Yeah, I'm Juice Box.
That good. Yo, listen to me.
Big boy. Ooh, help me out. I'm not this close.
I think I think you were doing phenomenal, but the instrumental messed us up. It wasn't your fault. It was the instrumental's fault.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Shawty.
Dude, a lot of cool shit happened this week. A lot of dope stuff happened. We are obviously on our second week of 8 weeks wait.
You got it.
Yep, we're on our second week of 8 weeks. This is our third week of 8 weeks. But last week we had a twofer. We had an outstanding podcast with KFC, and I know the reviews are in on the YouTube.
Yeah,
a lot of people are upset about that slideshow.
A lot of people,
which we knew.
Come, man.
That's adversity, and we deal with that.
Those are people who just watch on the YouTube, which we love those guys.
Yeah,
we love them. but it doesn't seem like they're following on social media
Mhm.
or they're listening on Apple or Spotify, because if they had, they would have known that was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you're sitting there listening to this right now and you're going, me? Yeah, probably.
If you're somebody and you're like, I'm just subscribed to the YouTube, which we fucking love.
We
Like,
love that,
you're-
dude.
We
Our
love
numbers
you.
are booming on the YouTube because of you guys.
But you got to understand that things happen. And we post those things on Twitter. We post them on Instagram. We post them on our social medias. And also, if you're a legitimate tier 1, you're subscribed to the boys on Apple and or Spotify in the morning. So you're hearing this stuff before it gets to your face, before it gets to your eyes in the afternoon when you watch on YouTube. So if you're just a subscriber on YouTube, we do apologize, but you should have known it was coming. Twitter, you don't have to leave a nasty comment in the comments.
That was a nasty comment. It wasn't a nasty comment, but sometimes just having comments in general is nice. Giving feedback is good. But the boys like it. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to do it. And if you're wondering, how can I keep up with this stuff? You can follow Bussin' with the Boys on Twitter or Instagram. It's at BussinWTB. Or if you like the boys, you can follow Will _W Compton
_Will Compton.
_Will Compton. And then mine is Taylor Lewan 77 on Twitter. And I believe it's just Taylor Lewan on Instagram. I'm really not 100% positive. But it was a big week last week.
We went to HQ.
We went to HQ.
I got a little shiner on me right
You
now.
wrestled KB, who, I mean, was trying. We were on the Yak. We did several podcasts. We did Part of My Take. We did the Yak. We did Son of a Boy Dad, and we did KFC. But when we were on the Yak, KB was there. It's a line of guys. I really didn't know what to think at first. I was kind of nervous.
There's
Lots of dudes.
Yeah.
A little bit of it was an energy dynamic that we had to insert ourselves into, not knowing really how to be.
Right.
KB sees you from across the room. He starts talking about wrestling. And then Big Cat, being the instigator he is, goes, "We'll wrestle him." And he starts asking you, "Oh, you do this, you do that." And he's trying to get a feel for you. He's not giving you any information about himself,
Right.
knowing good and well that he knows how to wrestle.
D1 wrestler.
D1 wrestler.
Had no clue.
Had no clue at the time. So he tried to hustle your ass. And, well, why don't you tell us what happened?
So, like Taylor said, he was kind of baiting me a little bit. I'm answering questions. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know Jordan Burroughs. I beat him in Madden 2010, like a while back." And Big Cat on the side the whole time. I'm like talking to KB, and Big Cat is on the side the whole time, instigating us, Don Kinging us to get out there and wrestle. And I'm thinking, like, we're on the Yak and stuff. The boys like to mix it up. Like Nick just got a swirly a week before that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, I can get up and do something. So I'm looking at KB. I'm like let's just tie up or do like a headlock or something, and just like get Big Cat to just give Big Cat what he
Scratch
wants.
his itch.
Right, scratch his itch.
Yeah.
So we go out there, and I take the middle of the floor, and I kind of do it like a wrestler, like having fun or whatever. And he comes out there. He's like, how about you try and take me down, and I'll just try and defend myself. Because he was just saying he's all defense. I'm like, "Oh, you seem like an ankle picker. You seem like a high crotch kind of guy." He's like, "No, I'm all defense." I'm like, "Do you ride legs?" He's like, "No, I don't know how to do any of that stuff."
All fun words.
Right, all fun words. He's setting me up. And I'm like, "Oh, let's just go out there." So we get out there. He's like, "You try and take me down." I'm like, let's just tie up. Let's do what I was saying. And so we shake hands, tie up a little bit. He's just dangling his leg. He's baiting his leg. And I hear the crowd on the side, mostly Big Cat. Taylor's like, "Hey, Will, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him, Will." Best time man in the game, by the way. You're the best. We'll get into that. But you hear Big Cat, like you hear stuff going on, and I'm tied up, and he's kind of trying to fight some wrist control, and he's dangling his leg in front of me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, is he trying to bait me into something? Because that's what a good wrestler would do. Just like give me his leg. Like he's way smaller than me, and he's like giving me his leg. And
What does giving you his leg mean? Because you keep putting your leg out.
He's like standing up, right? And he's like baiting me his leg. He's like, "You take a shot on my." He wanted me to drop down and shoot on his leg so he can sprawl and make me look dumb.
Oh, you knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing chess.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why is he baiting this? Like he's way smaller. So he kept putting it in front of me, and that's why I went for that front trip.
Yeah.
To try and like get him down, because I'm trying to stay up and just use my strength.
Yeah.
And once he regained his balance, and then we started kind of like tussling a little bit more.
Yeah.
Heavier, and he started to really fight for my wrist control. I was like, oh, he's a legit fucking wrestler. Like he's trying to like get me right now. Like, because like I was saying it in college, like I would take my boys. My brother was a wrestler, awesome stud wrestler in Nebraska. We would,
his brother Cody. I don't know why we get shout Cody.
Hang on, pause it for me. And when the groups would get together, the wrestlers are obviously undersized by the football players. And wrestlers would try and instigate the football players, so we would circle around in the front yard. So football players would try and wrestle like a smaller football guys are trying to wrestle smaller
And this
guys.
happens at every single university, by the way.
Right, because Chandler was on talking about how he dumped Blaine Gabbert that one time at a party.
Yeah.
Because football players always want to like take their chances.
The
and, like, mess
ego.
with
Ego.
Yeah.
I'm big, you're small.
And you just kind of know sitting back, like you never want to fuck with wrestlers because they'll get you. Like they're
Fuck you
fucking
up.
good, bro. No matter how small they are, like they understand leverage. They got weird grip strength. They can always deadlift a lot, even though they can't like squat or bench press very much because their grip is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in there tussling. I'm like, oh, he's fucking good. And I start feeling tired. I'm like, I have to make my move or he is going to beat me.
Really?
Because I hear you in the background like, come on, Will, get him,
Yeah,
Will.
because you legit, you guys are going
Once
back
you
and forth.
started going for
and in
real.
my head, I'm like, oh, it's over. I legit am so hyped up because I've seen what you've done to me. You know what I'm saying? I was that dumb football player and you were the wrestler.
Right,
When I was
right,
like, oh, I'll
right.
just beat this bitch's ass right now.
I'll just out-strengthen him.
Right,
I'll just
and
outpower
you
him.
like shimmied up a pole, dude. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, and he's like, you feel him going, and you're like, I got to make a move. Because he tried at one point in time get me with an over-under. We'll walk through the tape. But
Yeah.
he tried to get me on an
Hit the
over-under.
plate, keep it on
to
mute.
try and hit me or dump me.
Right.
And so I'm like sinking my hips back. Like I'm way too big for him. And he obviously like underestimated the boy strength a little bit and the little bit of a wrestling background.
I don't think we were drinking.
What?
We didn't have any drinks at this point.
That's when I snapped him and went, got a nice little, I guess you can call it a double leg.
You're much bigger than him on this
much
film.
bigger. But he knows what he's doing. Look at the motherfucker.
But I don't know that because I don't know wrestling.
Because right when I turn my head backwards, I go, "Oh, hey, are you a good wrestler?" And he's like, "Just try and take my leg." And I'm like, "Fuck, I
So
think
this is him
dude's a
dangling
real
his leg at
wrestler."
you, right?
Yeah, he keeps like putting it in front of me. He's like, "Go ahead, try and take my leg."
Oh, he's talking to you. That's why you hit him with
Yeah.
that. Which if you would have dumped him there, you would have fucked that TV up so bad. So this is when you know this is real.
When I snapped him, I'm like, "Let's see if he's like he's
Yeah.
gonna come back." And
Oh.
then he gets back in the.
You guys are fighting for
headlock
hand
with me. I'm
position?
like, oh, he's fucking good.
Oh. So you
Right there, he has that over on me. He tries.
Yeah.
He's trying to get his right arm fully under my shoulder to try and hit me and flip me.
God. Your ass looks
Boy, I'm
phenomenal in those
keeping a
shorts.
Sturdy base.
Yeah, that's a sturdy base. You are a very sturdy man.
Just dudes being dudes wrestling around.
No
right
doubt
now.
about it. So right now I'm hype. I think, oh, Will's toying with this bitch. I'm having no idea.
I'm not. I'm
No,
low-key
I'm not-
getting a little gas. I'm
Yeah,
low-key
I
like,
have no
gotta
idea.
make a
And the
move.
big dump. The big dump. I get out. I'm so excited. And what's,
Yeah, look at
what's
this
more
wrist
impressive? What's more impressive about you being so gassed? When you stood up, you hit the handshake. You're stoked, and I couldn't tell at all you're gassed until you started making out the mic. Will sits down. I had the headphones on. He's like. I'm like, bro, like just move it away from your face, like you've been in a microphone
go
before.
Take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Go get a water. Or
That'd
something.
have been hilarious if you actually stepped out. Oh, that was just so
That would
funny.
have been funny.
And then
He
late,
didn't say nothing the rest of the show.
he was so up, dude. He was genuinely hurt, and now that makes me think, and I don't know wrestling. If Will, being just a football player, can come in as wrestling even a real sport, if Will can just dominate,
If I can just walk.
if you can just walk
Show
in,
you. If I can just walk
just-
in and
now if he dumped you and put you in some sort of pretzel, something that looked relatively cool, I'd be like, oh shit, wrestling's a real sport.
right.
But right now, because of what I've witnessed with my own
A
eyeballs,
football player can walk anywhere and be like, point out a wrestler.
I
like,
think I
let's
can
get
win
him
an
down.
Olympic gold right now. I don't think there's a question about it.
I think you
After watching what you did to that poor sap, and
Yeah.
I think I say sap because I'm just trying to get some. I know blood's boiling as
Yeah,
KB's
yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
I'm a big say trigger words guy, but I
Like,
think
build the fight, build it
yeah,
up.
I'm building it, and I don't think wrestling's a real sport just based on what my last experience.
Just by saying that. I understand what you're saying. I think he really let the wrestling community down.
Mhm.
That's why he was so quiet, because all he's thinking about is, damn, all my boys. It's a big missed opportunity for the
Yeah.
wrestling culture.
And you
Because
didn't.
anytime you get a shot to dump a football player, like you're like kind of fist bumping. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, where the boys
oh,
like,
we-
hey,
Yeah, you're like, oh, we showed those motherfuckers. Like they really thought.
yeah, because you were saying about in the yak that there's no the wrestlers, and this is true. Don't care if there's really women at their party. They're
Oh.
shirtless, headbands on. They're just kind of ready to.
If you want to go
Grapple.
pregame, you're like, oh, let's hit up the wrestlers. You know they're hanging out.
Yeah.
And they're probably like 30 beers deep with a bandana on, shirtless, partying, shoulder to
Those fuckers are
shoulder,
jacked.
playing ping pong and getting like physical with each other.
Yeah.
Like they'll get hype and they'll like get hype how me and you chest bump did our handshake, but then they'll just start kind of tussling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just some good old
Which
boys.
makes you think like, is it not really a sport? Or is it kind of like a boys club kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like are they kind of into that?
Yeah, and then you take them to the bar and you're low key a little on edge the whole time because all it takes is one side comment at a wrestler.
Really?
And for whatever reason, they want to fight the entire place.
And this is not a shot at Cody. This is an observation. I feel like Cody's very much one of those guys you take to the bar, and you're like, he's really one comment away from just dropping
you gotta
somebody.
keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
keep
you
an
gotta
eye
keep an eye on
When
Cody.
he says like, "Hey, are they looking at you kind of weird?" You're thinking like, "Hey,
Hey,
my
just
man,
hey,
let's-
hey,
we're having a great time. You don't gotta do nothing."
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the first time you made waves. About 15, 20 minutes later, after you caught your breath.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys put me on the spot. I was not like I wasn't trying to show off.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I did the wrestling
I
thing.
know. Well, I don't know if it was me or Big Cat that brought it up first, but you chugging a beer. Lights out, dude. And I'm sure they're going to play the video for you guys now. Don't fucking blink because I've never seen a man chug a beer like Will Compton chugs a beer. Big Cat knew about it. I knew. I think we were the only two that really knew.
Yeah.
And like you said, one of my favorite things to do, obviously, is to watch you Control Alt Delete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
It's one of my favorite things to watch you do.
It's just like one of those things. And then like the video gets posted and there's a lot of tough guys in the comments talking about like, oh, are we timing with the calendar and shit? And it's just, I don't know. It's easy to buy a ticket. It's easy to throw stones.
Man in the arena.
Yeah, man in the
arena. You don't fucking worry about those kinds of guys. The thing that was so impressive to me is halfway through the fastest show I've ever seen, you started showboating. Like not only were you going so fast, you put that index up. When you put the index up and said, like, that's basically like walking up to the plate in baseball and pointing to the back fence.
Right.
That's what you did. And you fucking hit a grand slam.
And it was a bottle. Like everybody's like, oh, like I could do this. And they're like chugging beer cans and stuff. It's like, yeah, you can poke holes in beer cans. You can do everything else.
Right.
That was an ice cold bottled beer.
The bottle hole's that big.
Right.
I've never seen in my life someone delete a beer so fast.
And if anybody wants it, you can fucking get it.
I love that, dude. It was incredible. Shortly after the yak, before the yak, we went on PMT. And we got to kind of talk about that a little bit because it's going to be a phenomenal episode. You guys are going to love it. If you haven't heard, I've retired from football. Because Will didn't have the
still
stone.
going.
Well, yeah.
Because
Will's keeping the dream alive, but I had to retire because Will wouldn't. But don't get it twisted, dude. That we walked into a hornet's nest. It wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. When we walked in to HQ itself, the big arena, Big Cat was there giving hugs and handshakes.
All the boys. Like,
and
you're like, oh,
PFT
man,
was also doing that. Yeah. PFT was also doing that down at the little coffee shop down there too.
Yeah, we saw him.
Sweet, nice guy. And he fucking bamboozled us several times and tried to split us apart.
Yeah.
We walked into there and I fucked up.
How'd you fuck up?
You know how I fucked up.
You talking about?
I said, I don't want to come at you guys.
That's where it hurt. If you just said, oh, this is smaller than I was picturing it. Like, I think that they would have just went with it. Like, you know, like, yeah, or agreed or something.
Yeah.
But you threw in the part like, hey, this is a little bit smaller. Like, I'm not trying to come at you guys. I think that's the moment to where.
But it's like, what am I supposed to do? Because I know those guys are kind of ready. Because you know what they are? They feel a little heat breathing down their neck right now. They know Bussin with the boys. It's not a competition, right?
It's not a competition.
We're co-workers. It's not a competition.
They're colleagues of
but
ours.
they see our numbers kind of blasting through the stratosphere right now.
We're going up.
We're moving, baby. 24 grams.
You heard them. They gave us our flowers.
Yeah.
But there were times that they were fluffing us up just to kind of divide us and split us apart.
Well, yeah. So we start the show. Big Cat claps. And he basically gives Will Compton the floor to retire without having any preconceived conversation or anything like that with Will Compton, and puts Will in a position. You can see he's kind of doing the smile. He's like, "You're 10, baby." Like you didn't have your footing.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like I told you too. Like I felt like, oh, you're trying to get. If I was to retire, you're trying to get me to say it on your platform and not ours.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Listen, we have this.
Yeah, like we have the bus. Like we got something to do it on.
And then Will has a.
But then they all retire, and then I'm like, well, I guess I should have just fucking.
Well, I was trying to diffuse because I already fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I was backpedaling myself.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying with that. Then Will has a pretty good at best dialogue about how In-N-Out Burger is not great. Five Guys, UK back there, boss. Okay, sorry, I thought you were raising your hand or something. Has a good, not great dialogue about In-N-Out Burger or Five Guys or how In-N-Out Burger is not great. It's a show. It's a novelty.
Something in there. And I knew PFT was trying to say Will absolutely hates In-N-Out. And it's like, if you actually listen to the episode, it doesn't come across.
With Bert Kreischer.
Right. With Bert Kreischer. It was a great episode. He's trying to place me in a box of like really putting me all the way against the In-N-Out fans. Now I think I've kind of done that for myself. But him just saying like, Will clearly and obviously hates In-N-Out, I think was also kind of a driving wedge.
Which is 101 of getting people interested in things is saying the trigger words. Right. By saying what I said about KB, well, I'm doing the same thing, right? Do I mean it? No. But he's just trying to get your feathers ruffled.
I went through the dialogue. It got us.
It divided us for a second.
Yeah,
but that's not what hurt me the most. Here's what hurt me the most. They fucking ask, what's your opinion? And then Big Cat starts talking over me as I start giving my opinion.
Oh, he did that one.
And so I go, that's fine. I guess I won't fucking talk on your show. This is your guys' show. You guys do whatever you want. And kind of go into one of those deals. Then things calm down and PFT goes, no, Taylor, I really want to hear what you have to say. And I think to myself, wow, an olive branch.
I fell for it too. I go, PFT's genuinely wanting to actually know your opinion.
Which actually hurt us more because I thought you were in on it.
No, I was by PFT.
So all I say is, here's the thing about In and Out. Before I can finish that part of the sentence, PFT goes, I don't care. And they fucking continue the show in a completely different direction. And now I'm fucking struggling to swim right now, dude. I'm a decent swimmer. I'm no Michael Phelps, but I'm treading water.
Big Cat hit you with the...
Yeah, oh, dude. So they got me twice on it too, which is like, hey, stupid. How do you fall for it twice?
Yeah.
It was
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on...
You're not going to fool me twice. Is that Bush?
Yeah, but they fooled you twice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's Bush's comment. I thought you were doing the...
But I'm saying it isn't it, fool me once, shame on you.
Listen, we're no historians.
Fool me twice, shame on me. Isn't that the same?
Yeah. Fool me 3 times on the peace sign. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What is it?
Load the chopper, let it rain on you.
Load the chopper, let it rain on you.
Pretty hardcore from step 2 to 3.
Yeah, just for fooling somebody.
That's your daily stoic right there. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Beautiful. So I think towards the end of that show it went all right. It went okay. It was hostile for sure, and we got to find a way to really bridge the gap because I think Big Cat still
Billy
feels
Football
bad.
sits there the whole time
And stares at you with that notepad and a pen. Like, it's 2022. What are you doing with a ballpoint and fucking a pad of paper? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can't fully hate on that kind of game. He's just not in the tech savvy. Like
you text every day. We all text every day.
Right, but I'm saying like he comes in with a notepad and paper. Like maybe he took notes for the show. Like when I do notes for football, I'm like a pen and paper type of guy. I'm not an iPad guy.
And I loved Billy's energy because in the beginning, when Billy first came on, was talking about beating the shit out of one of our guys, or we instigated it. It's no one's fault. It's definitely not ours, but it's no one's fault. And I go in there and he's all smiles and giggles and he's super happy. And I'm thinking, oh, this guy's kind of great when we get into the show. And PFT shits on him a couple times. And I'm the type of dude that's like, oh, we just get the shit on this guy. And so I'm thinking, oh, should I shit on him?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
In the water. That's
you know what I'm saying? I saw a little blood in the water. I was like, oh, we're just going to shit on Billy now? We didn't. But Billy had a good question at the end.
Here's my theory. I think Derrick Henry's long legs can hurt him in short yardage. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, he's got long fucking legs. Like, he's not Nick Chubb.
Right. So you guys, here's what you got to do. This episode's going to come out before or after their episode?
I'm not sure.
We have no clue.
Probably
but
after.
Probably after?
Probably
If
after.
you hear this before you hear part of my take, you don't need to listen to it. You've already heard it all. We've told you everything, right? You don't have
and
to.
If you're listening to us on Part of My Take, please take a moment, subscribe to the boys, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We'd love to have you.
And
We're excited.
If you have heard this, it'd be great if under all their social medias of them tagging anything that has to do with us, just go ahead and put heard it and tag me and Will.
Yeah.
That way we know that you've heard it before,
heard
right?
It already.
If you heard it already, then it doesn't matter.
Like that.
Right? Heard it.
Yeah, I like that move.
Thank
As you hear this, like go on Twitter and just anything that they're saying, whether it involves the episode or not, just put heard it.
Heard it. Already heard it. It doesn't matter.
Heard it on Bussin' with the Boys.
Yeah. Absolutely. But anyway, it's not a competition. Then we go on KFC, and that definitely is not a competition. We pick up that episode right where we left off talking about Harry Potter. It was an hour of giggles.
They're a good time, dude.
They're a great time. Feidelberg has a weird obsession with this porn star named Christy Mack. I looked her up. I accidentally pressed on a link, and it was just 2 dicks in her face coming on her right away, and the music, and it threw me off.
It's not fair for everybody that watched that and everything else to make a preconceived notion. Like, don't judge anybody by one of their lowest moments.
No, I'm not judging her. I'm judging myself.
That's what I'm saying. Them judging you.
Oh, yeah, don't judge me.
Like you clicking on the link and
I got
taking
uncomfortable
for a couple seconds. Like you got uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You were like, hey,
I'll tell you what I did notice, though, in those few seconds I was watching. She's very passionate about her craft. You can tell she's very passionate about what she does.
You see what makes her great.
Oh, effort's not an issue with her. You know what I'm saying? So good for her. But also when I had it on, I'm like sitting there like, yo, this is being filmed right now. You're just staring at a phone of this girl getting pounded. And you kind of feel like, I'm a father of 2 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm literally doing this.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, dude. What am I doing right now? Anyway.
Then we went to Son of a Boy Dad.
And that was great.
Son of a Boy Dad was a good time.
Yeah, because Roan and Lil Sass. Lil Sass is the GOAT.
Come on now.
He's a GOAT.
Come on.
Hey, but don't sleep on Roan either.
Oh, Roan's super talented, but I
Super
think
talented.
I think it's very understood. Sass is just he's a 21-year-old cat up and comer.
Yeah.
Like Roan has been in the game, like he's cut from that cloth of Barstool.
He
Like,
really
he's
is.
built Barstool.
He's built
helped
Barstool.
build Barstool. Yeah, and definitely shouts to Roan, dude. He's a monster.
Yeah. And he's one of those dudes that he doesn't take a compliment well, which makes you like him even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're like, oh, you're the best, you'd be like, I know. You'd be like, oh, okay. But you say you're the best, and he's like, can we guys stop doing that, please?
Right.
You know?
But he's like a freestyler. Like
What?
he can rap battle. He's like, yeah, he's a battle rapper.
Why didn't anybody tell me this before we're back from New York? Why didn't anybody tell us before we were there?
I don't
Public
know.
knowledge.
I thought it was like a known thing. He's like a good battle rapper.
Mm.
Like, it's a white boy that you're like, you can confidently throw in there and you're like, yo, he'll do just fine.
Yeah.
Because he's witty. If you could tell he's witty, he keeps conversations going. But anyway,
I love that.
shout out to Boy Son of a Boy Dad. Go check out our episodes.
Yeah.
Check out our episode, Son of a Boy Dad, KFC Radio, Pardon My Take, and then obviously the Yak. I don't know
Subscribe to the Yak. They're getting to 100,000, and we're going to do a case race with them.
I know, I can't wait to
eventually.
do a case race.
We got to go do a case race with them. Maybe go up for a
Seems
couple
like
of
you're
days.
the best person to do a case race with. I know I got footage out there. And I know it's pretty.
It's
pretty
legit.
good.
It's
pretty good for
like you
to be
looking
on a
at me
case
like
racing with me.
you're legit like Michael Jordan saying to me, "Hey, you must be a pretty good teammate." Like I already know I got the best.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and we've seen the catfish videos. Like I think it is an elite team. I think it's
Yeah.
like a what is it? What's a duo?
What's that?
It's like a magic bird.
They're not a duo. They were rivals.
They're rivals.
They're
Yeah,
the
they're
biggest rivals.
Wade and LeBron.
Well, yeah, like a Wade and LeBron
I
type duo.
think, but here's the deal: when you look at my film, it's like the guy's messy, spills beer. That's a
But I've seen you in
disqualification.
private.
Dude,
Oh,
in
yeah, that,
Michigan, you threw that one down.
that doesn't.
So fast.
You know what? No pause.
I will say that I cannot wait to guzzle beers with you against the boys.
It'd be an honor. It'll be an honor. It's
Yeah.
gonna get wet. It's gonna get messy.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna throw up everywhere. Every time I drink, I throw up. It feels like.
It will be a good time. But yeah.
Is there any more housekeeping items you'd like to touch on before we hit shout out no free shout out of the week?
New merch is out. Continue to go buy new merch.
If we
We're wearing the
Garrett,
shirts right now.
come sit it right here real quick and just be our model for a second, because these boys are almost out. JP, I think you have one on too. You're
Yeah,
up next.
The
That
black,
black
ones
boy's
are
a
almost
hitter,
out.
dude. That thing's a fucking hitter.
I'm rocking the white ones. You got the
Bussin' hat.
what color is this?
Manila.
Tacky.
Khaki. The khaki color hats. I love the fucking trucker hats. We got some vintage looking flat bill. What are those ones called? Little snapbacks.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like a vintage
They're
feel.
They're nice, and we're gonna keep coming with heat, dude. This
We
is
got
just,
boss. As a matter of fact, we're putting pictures right here on the fucking screen.
yeah, boss. You got it right. All right, cool.
Now should we get to
We should get the shout out. No free shout out of the week.
love it?
Here we go. Yet again, we are back and we're doing it.
We'll get to the shout out, no free shout out of the week, and then have we even talked about Mike being on the pod?
No, but we can hit that right after.
Okay.
But it kind of speaks for himself. Actually, since we've stopped it, since we just stopped it right there, let's go and hit Mike being on the pod.
I think it'd be hilarious for you to just go back into what you're wanting to do, and I rudely interrupted you, knowing that it could be done later.
No, I think this is all staying no matter what. You might as well just talk about Mike now.
So we have Mike Chandler on the bus.
Future lightweight champion of the UFC, Mike Chandler came on the bus.
Fucking
Put
stud.
the front kick of death, dude, on people. He fucking murdered Tony Ferguson. And I hope to God he's safe. I hope to God he's all right. And I hope he has a safe recovery. But I don't know if it's possible based on what he just put on that man. It was unbelievable.
And we ask the important questions.
He asked the important questions. Let's not go into too much detail about it. It's unreal.
Yeah.
He talks about how he's gotten better on the mic. Will
Will
came on him.
He's working the mic. We asked him about this.
Yeah.
Start
We
rattling
asked
off.
about this. We talked about where he was at before this fight, how he was feeling about his career. What else we
Who
asked
he
him
wants
about?
to fight? Does he want the bag, or is he trying to be the UFC champion next
Yeah.
fight? That was a great. That
I
was.
love
a good,
how
like, tough
vague this
question.
is. I love how vague this
Yeah,
is.
yeah. And then we ask him about we check him a little bit on
Yeah.
his mic skills, but
Yeah.
how he performed very well this last fight,
Admirably.
but how he help me out.
You got it?
You got it?
Help me out.
Let's come and save you.
How he wasn't
Let's come and
the
save
best working the mic.
you. Yeah.
We called him on it. I checked
You-
him. Yeah, I
right.
checked him a little bit on it.
But I was there with
But
you.
to me,
I don't
was
disagree with
I
you.
think he did phenomenal. But before that last mic work that he did, mic
Yeah.
talk, whatever we call it, whatever that people call
Yeah.
it, I think that was one area he really needed to get better at. And I think he did.
And I think you guys you're gonna love the episode.
And all the backflips, like while fucking the dude
Yeah.
was laying dead on the ground.
I think it was like maybe one too many
One too many what?
backflips.
Backflips?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get into
I didn't say that
we,
to
we
him.
don't want to spoil the episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want to spoil.
But look, can I tell you something else?
Yeah.
It's time for our favorite segment of the week, boys. It's time for Tier Talk. Sorry, not Tier Talk. Shout out, no free shout out of the week. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Every week we sit in our seats, we look at our phones, and we make sure, what are we going to do today? What are we going to shout out? What's that little thing we're going to do that makes everybody's heart go, yeah, that is what we're going to, that is what I like to do. That is what I love. How are we going to get into your hearts today? And we're going to find out first. Last week was a toughie. Last week was a hard one for him, but that man hits adversity and he comes back off the tarmac. He got the 10 count and he's back now. Boss Hernandez, baby! Yeah! What do we got? What do we got for our shout out? No, for shout out of the week.
All right, my shout out this week goes out to Jelly Roll, who appeared on the Bobby Bones
Ooh,
show.
hold on. Who you say?
To Jelly Roll.
Somebody save me. Let's go, babe. Me from myself. But it was nice.
Thank you.
That was up there with our boy JP. Our boy JP on that hitter on the Bobby Bones show. Don't let us interrupt you anymore. If we do, tell us oops.
Yeah, so my shout out goes out to Jelly Roll, who appeared on the Bobby Bones show. He talked about how he wanted to raise money to build a music center for the juvenile detention center, because he talked about how, like, when he was in juvenile, he talked about how people would come in and they would talk to him, but it was nobody that he could actually relate to. So he wants to do more for the juvenile system, but he also talked about matching it out of his own pocket for the money that he raises.
Yeah.
And he's asking everybody else who raises money to just kind of move forward and put their money where their mouth is.
I love that. You know what else I love? You know what is going full circle right now? What do you think he said when he was in juvie? Somebody save me. And now he's bringing it back, baby. He's bringing it back to help everybody out. Listen, I don't want to sound like the guy. I think a lot of good music's going to come out of there. You know, Jelly Roll came out of there, right? I'm not sure who else came out of there, but you see some shit. Your boy
Boss,
being a juvie.
that is a great shout out.
That is an outstanding shout out. No free shout out of the week. It was unbelievable. I did see that you were looking at your computer a little bit. You had yourself some training wheels on there, and you came up, and as you started getting a little more confident, as you started getting more confident, you started to look up and show the world those beautiful brown eyes of yours. Let's transition to our left. Let's get in it.
Compliment.
Kind of our front runner MVP guy that we've had on the shout out, no free shout out of the weeks, Jack McPherson, boys and girls. Let's give him one.
Thank you. So, as we all know, summer is just right around the corner.
It is.
That weather, yeah, single moms obviously, but
Single mom season. out
weather's
there,
starting to
Jack
change,
McPherson.
starting to get hot, a little humid. I got my first invite out to the lake this weekend.
Ooh.
Shout out, no free shout out to those lake days. Man, they hit so hard. The sun's out, the buns are out, the women are there. We got beers flowing, good
Not
food,
just
good
women, but-
friends. Single moms.
That's right.
So yeah, my shout out, no free shout out, obviously is to that lake day. It's just a great camaraderie. Go out there, catch a tan, catch a buzz. You know, you come back maybe a little red, a little tired, maybe rally, go out to Broadway, something like that. Maybe go take a nap, you know? Doesn't matter. It's the lake. It's whatever you want. So shout out to the lake.
Shout out to the lake. Shout out on. Let's all prepare for the lake too, right? Get yourself a nice little base tan
what I'm
before
here
you get
for.
out there.
I'm paced.
You're gonna get red. And you think, oh, I gotta put the SPF 50 on. Fuck yourself, dude. Get that base tan, and then let's keep on lathering it up, all right? We'll look like leather when we're 60, but we'll look like kings and queens today.
Hey.
Next, coming up, his friend. Wait. Had a brain fart.
Oh no.
Oh, Garrett.
got it.
Garrett. Man, shout out my fuck up just now, dude.
Don't shout out your fuck up.
Owning me.
Hey. All right, my
Andrew
free
Dad.
shout out is going to be the tier ones that are purchasing the new merch. We are
Ooh.
almost sold out. So go,
Really?
yeah, so go and get it while it's hot. Yeah, I appreciate you guys
Dude,
buying
Garrett, I
merch.
love the pride you take in the merch game because you're like the merch guy.
He's a merch
And
guy.
I feel like you've shouted out the merch a couple times and I really fucking appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all let me on camera, so now I get to, chop it up, put it in there.
There you go.
So
Maybe hit a
stay
collab.
tuned.
Yeah.
We can collab.
The collab. Go, Will. Take this one. I don't deserve it.
Shout out to the
Shout out to the
merchandise.
merch.
Let's fucking go,
I don't
baby.
deserve the next one. Will, you gotta take this one. I don't deserve it.
All right. So my shout out.
No. JP. Yeah, introduce JP.
Oh, go ahead, dude.
No, I fucked up, Garrett.
I can't take your
You do
flair.
it.
JP, what's your shout out? No free shout out of the week.
Oh, bro.
Crazy.
Somebody save me.
My shout out, no free shout out of the week goes to a place that I believe I have belonged in and just never knew I belonged there.
Oh.
And that place is first class on a flight.
Oh, let's go, kid.
Hey, right.
Big
this
flick,
week,
big flick.
Shout out to Will and Taylor, but this was my first time on First Class. And right when I sat down, I felt different. You see the video on Will's Twitter. People are walking by, you give them the nod, you say what's up. It's just a great feeling up there. So no free shout out to First Class.
It's an elite status.
It is.
It really is an elite status. And what makes it so elite is you get on the plane first. And so everybody who walks by has to see that you're in first class and no one else is.
Not 10 seconds though, we'll get flagged.
Oh, that was an outstanding shout out, no free shout out of the week, JP. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Willie, what you got for us, homie?
So my shout out, no free shout out of the week. What's so funny?
Because you're going, my shout out, no free shout out of the week. The point of turning your head is to get the no free shout out part away from the mic.
It goes to those men.
Cheeks.
Those men out there, those husbands that stuck with their wife, that waited 6 weeks with their lonesome. Them in their hand, boys. The 6 weeks is up for the boy. And your boy's about to go Super Gremlin tonight. So my shout out goes to those men out there that weathered that 6-week storm after birth, man, and they had to keep it zipped up for a little bit, and now they're out ready to shine, boy. Hey, and by the way, boys, hey,
Run.
I got the text. We're clear for takeoff. We're clear for takeoff.
Yes, dude. Hey, make sure you cut up a video of Will when he goes, I'm about to go Super Gremlin mode. It just goes, run, da 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 da. That is fucking unreal.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Congrats on the sex.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
You. Thank you.
Everything good now? Like clean up?
I gotta get going. I gotta get on my man.
It's probably a mess, huh?
I tell you what, there's
Yeah.
it's a jungle down there.
It's a jungle down there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's been out of commission for a little bit.
I know, but
You know, you got to pay a janitor for to go clean it up if you're not going to use it for a while.
That's true. And I was gonna go into further detail, but it's like, let's just.
Yeah, there's people living down there, little people.
There's people listening right now. There's
Yeah.
women and children and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want to be
Moms
insensitive.
listening.
You don't want to be insensitive. We have a big single mom listening group ever since Jack shouted them out.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
The big spike
game,
came
baby.
up,
Let's go.
dude. All right, my shout out, no free shout out of the week is it's the moms and dads who raise their child. And
Sorry.
why is that so funny?
I have no clue what you're about to say.
Exactly. None of us do.
dads who raise their child.
Who don't leave, who don't go get the milk. No, my shout out, no free shout out of the week goes to moms and dads who teach their kids how to walk, teach their kids how to talk, teach them how to eat regular foods, get off the tit and start living. And then that kid finally goes to school. And that kid gets to do something extracurricular outside of school that first time. The first time you're available to go and do something. My daughter, Win Rebel Lawan,
Ooh.
is having her first play this weekend. She's a tomato.
Yes.
And you know dad's going to be there with my miniature phone, dude. And I'm going to film every single second, every single misstep, every single off-cue vocal she has. And I'm going to cheer harder than every fucking dad in that place. So shout out, no free shout outs to kids' first extracurricular activity outside of school.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
What's
man,
that?
right?
Oh, yeah, trying to get tickies?
What happened?
Trying to get tickies? I'll hook the boys out. Don't worry. I got a couple. You know, I got a couple.
Love that dude. I can't wait to see the photos of her and her being a tomato.
Oh, today she was in it. All she's wearing is a red shirt and pants and black
really?
pants.
It's not like a costume.
No, I wish it was, but it's not.
I know you
She
did.
comes
Comes down
down.
embracing the spook.
Mom,
Hey, and it's Friday. Oh, go ahead.
Mom gets her ready for school every day, and I go make breakfast and I make her lunch, and I meet him at the stairs every morning. And as I go to meet him at the stairs, I hear Willow go, "Hi, Daddy," and I look up, I'm like, "Hey, baby," and Wynn goes, "I'm a tomato," and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, you are, dude. You're a tomato, and you're about to crush it." Well, you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna be the star of the show, dude. She's like her dad. She loves the attention. She loves the attention. She might kick over the star of the show to become the tomato's gonna run the show. So shout out my little daughter.
I love that. I was gonna say, today is right, Friday the 13th.
I didn't even think about that, dude. Wow.
Comes down.
God. Yeah, tell me the shit, man.
I mean, I
Like,
didn't
tell me the
I
fucking
didn't
dates
think
of
about it
things.
until I started saying the costume thing.
Oh, you know what also comes out on Friday 13th? On May 13th, today? that TV show Shorzy.
Really?
Yeah, comes
You
out.
could have had a few shout outs today.
God,
You kind of.
I liked mine. I liked mine.
Oh, it's a phenomenal shout
I
out.
wish it would have been Jason Voorhees, but yeah, I liked mine. I liked mine.
That showed the Letterkenny.
Yeah, it's a Letterkenny spinoff of Shorzy, and I'm sure it's gonna be fucking hilarious. If those of you who've not seen Letterkenny, hilarious show. Please cut this up so I can send it to them, DM them, and then they can hopefully get me in their show. I just want to be in it. We talked about it. The boy wants to be in Letterkenny so bad. Amazing show. Town of 5,000 people, Hicks, Skids, Christians, and hockey players, and it's just one long run-on sentence. You guys got to watch it. It's amazing. If you have seen it, let us know in the comments below what you think.
Yeah, I love that. All right. We are going to get into this episode with Mike Chandler after this beautiful ad read that's going to happen. It's going to be Duke Cannon. I'm just going to spoiler alert right now. Wait. It wouldn't be Duke Cannon
It would probably be Chevy.
because it would
No.
be, no. Chevy's at the front.
What?
Just because we're the way we did the ads. No free shout outs to Duke Cannon whatsoever. But we're going to hit a ad read right now. Before we do, take a moment. Before it goes into this ad read, just hit subscribe to the boys. We love you. We appreciate you. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Have a fun time with this episode. Share it to everybody.
We think everything should be done at 100%, and so does Whistle Pig Whiskey. They created the first 100% rye whiskey perfect for sipping and mixing. Piggyback is made with 100% rye whiskey for a bold, full spice flavor. It's a bartender's dream, perfect for mixing up cocktails. Trust us on this one. It truly is 100% of the good stuff. Get your bottle at shop.whistlepigwhiskey.com or at your local retailer.
Dude, it is phenomenal. Hey, we got the boys back on.
I know,
There's
dude.
times where like he throws that kick and he's doing all the backflips, he's doing all this stuff, and you're like, man, is he gonna remember us like this?
Yeah. You
This is gonna fuck with the boys.
Because when you killed that man on Saturday,
Hey, you want to
Literally-
see? You want to see a dead body?
yeah, you guys want to see a dead body? Will and I look at each other. We're like, "You think he'll come on? you think
Oh, you know I'm coming on.
Oh yeah,
I wish-
100%.
I
We knew it.
I'm pretty sure I tried to get on early. Well, no, actually, you tried to get me on earlier, but I was still in Arizona.
Yeah.
One of the best states in the country.
Let's go, baby.
You know?
Yeah, it is really the best date.
And yeah, I wasn't back till Wednesday, and then on daddy duty and all that. So
But before we get into this whole fight, we're gonna have plenty of time for that. What do you like? You like Arizona? You're about Arizona.
I love Arizona. I am a lifer in Nashville forever.
Home base in Nashville. But
yes,
we're about to get the
only
bag.
other place I could see myself being would be Arizona. Like I
you
like.
also train in Florida.
I train in Florida. Don't really like Florida that much.
Okay.
As far as I mean, it's all right. It's just we had the option to move there. You know, we were leaving San Diego. We could have went to Florida where I was training, but we wanted to make a life here, man. We love Nashville. Wanted to be here, and here we are, planted roots firmly.
If you were gonna be in Arizona, what part of Arizona you be in? Cave Creek?
Is Cave Creek like south?
Part of
No,
Arizona. would
it's
you be
north.
in
It's
Cape
not
North?
like if there's Scottsdale.
I would just be in Scottsdale.
You used to be in Scottsdale.
Yeah, dude, we just rented a house, open invite. Yeah, May and June. Yeah,
Let's
out there.
go. Oh, you're gonna be out there in the summer.
yeah, we're gonna fry ourselves for sure.
Let's go.
We
Get that
love
good
it.
base tan.
Yeah, so we'll be out there for so we already had a trip to Arizona planned before this fight got booked in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Then my fight got booked in Phoenix, so then hung out there for an extra couple days by the pool.
So why the couple months renting in May and June just to go out there? And kick it?
It's actually not May and June. It's one day in May. It's May 31st to like June 12th or something.
Yeah.
But dang, it sure didn't sound good.
May and June, baby. I'm out there all day. All fucking summer, baby.
Yeah, it's
Weeks
like
out
a
there
two, it's like a
too.
2-week trip. And then just going out, and it's what we've done. Like actually, my last couple fights, we go out to Arizona and just kick back, man. Just me going into training camp and then being away from my family and just being a robot for 10 weeks straight. I need to just be. And honestly, when I'm in Nashville too, I feel like I need to work because I'm home. Like if I'm in Florida, I feel like I need to work. If I'm in Nashville, I feel like I need to work. So I need to, be in a location.
like
Yeah, just
relax.
where I'm on vacation, where it's like, well, I got a Wi-Fi connection. I can do something if I need to, but I'm most likely not. There's a pool out there, and the refrigerator's got libations in it.
Dude, the 10 weeks where you're training, you also, we'll give a huge round of applause, but you have a new kid. A newborn, dude.
I was just.
You're a father of two now.
Hey, yes,
Unbelievable.
and actually, I am. Yes, and this morning was actually the first time I was alone with him because my wife is doing a continuing medical education. She has to do like 100 hours every couple of years to these conferences and education. So she's actually at a conference downtown right now. So she's like, "Hey, Nanny's coming over at like 10 o'clock. You got Bussin at 10:30. So you're gonna have Ace by himself for about an hour." passed with flying colors.
Did you
Flying
really?
colors. I did. Yeah. I
That's-
mean, he was
that's
just looking at
outstanding.
me like, dang, dude, you're awesome, Dad.
Was it hard that happening, like adopting your newborn, like while you're in the last few weeks of training?
Oh man, it's like anything. I mean, you guys have gone through it where it's like, dude, when you look back and you think, okay, that was a tough little hairy scenario there. But when you're in the moment, I think when you're in these moments where you're basically sink or swim. Like it's
No one's
either
coming to save you.
no one's coming to save you. Like, so I was able to compartmentalize it. And there were so many things that happened. I changed my flight the day of, flew to Atlanta, ended up driving a couple hours from Atlanta till 2 a.m. because I missed the second flight, missed the connection, got there. And then, Ace was born the next day, and then spent most of our time in a hotel / hospital, and high stakes, high strung, because it's never 100%. He's not your son until it's legally documents are signed,
Right.
Well, that's got to be
You
that's
can
got to be a
hold 'em
wild
and-
feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you hold them, fall in love with them, take care of them, and minds can be changed. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, I guess we'll go back home without a baby. That can happen. So,
Mm.
you just, until that moment where the papers were signed, it was, high stakes.
Is
And then
the
I had to
adopt-
get back to Florida, and it was get back after it because I was fighting a man in a cage 2 weeks later.
Is the adoption process?
That'd be
tough?
hard to switch up.
Yeah, exactly. I go from like,
Right. Oh, it's a newborn too.
You're like fucking training. I'm gonna beat this dude's ass. Let me go be a soft man for a little bit and go
Yeah.
adopt this beautiful
And hope
child.
that it goes through. Like I'm
Yeah.
curious about the adoption process.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing
Not
that back
to
up.
not like shout out Parenthood, no free shout outs to Parenthood. But Charles and I we were watching the show, and in Parenthood, it's a family who can't have a child, so they go through the adoption process, and they find this young lady who's having a baby, and they get all the way to the hospital. The chick has the baby, and then the chick has such a connection and feels so bad about giving the baby up that she ends up keeping the baby. And this whole family in Parenthood is like going to the hospital to welcome having this newborn, and they were so excited. And then the mom keeps it, and then the Parenthood family is just like broken that situation happened. So like, can you talk about like the adoption process and like, I guess those feelings?
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You're always negotiating emotions every day. You're like, one day you're just 100% like, this is going to happen. This is God's plan. We prayed for this. I mean, I prayed with Hap every single night for the last year before this for his baby brother, And so you're not only thinking about myself and my wife, but also a 5-year-old, another innocent child who has just, he's left up to the whims and fancies of us adults or what the world may throw at him. And I'm just like, this has got to go through for him. This has got to go through. And we kept it a secret. He knew we haven't disclosed the location because we want to keep.
Yeah.
In the adoption process too, this is not my story to tell either. As much as it is, this is Ace's story. This is Hap's story. Any adopted child, this is their story. So you always got to be careful what you're talking about. Even us sitting around a campfire, let alone on microphones, this is their story. So we kind of shielded him from it. We brought him there. He thought he was just on a little vacation. We were going on a trip. He had no idea until it was 100% done.
Right.
That it was his baby brother. Then he could actually meet him, and that'll make you just cry too, because it's just like it was amazing because we prayed for him so hard, and he was 100% confident that he was going to get a baby brother, and he did, and now we do. So the process is just it's long and it's arduous, albeit I am the man in the situation. 98% of it falls on the woman. I'm sure a lot of it, when you were talking about the documentary or whatever you're watching, my wife handled all of it. And it's a stack of paperwork, and it's FBI background checks, and it's financial background checks. I had to get a physical, a vaccination records.
You passed the physical?
I barely passed the physical.
You look like shit.
I
I'm just
barely
making
passed
sure.
the physical. And then even during COVID, like I'm not trying to hit political hot button issues here, but there was even certain adoption agencies that would not take on adoptive families that were not COVID-19 vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, there's a lot of things. You can't walk in your favorite restaurant, or you can't fly on an airplane. That's one thing. But you talk about you were going to excommunicate me from adopting a child because I don't have a vaccination. That to me was probably the biggest tragedy I've ever heard about this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
But that was here nor there. We ended up obviously finding an adoption agency and our baby boy. So
Man, that's got
stack of paperwork and a lot of stuff going on.
After you had your first son, you adopted your first son. Did you go through multiple processes before you got to Ace, or was this like, okay, we're gonna go do this, and it was like a one-time thing? Like, did you ever get into a
like
situation?
a proven family that's like,
Yeah.
they're an adoptive family.
Well, I'm more asking like, did you ever have a situation where like you thought you were gonna end up with a baby and that did not happen?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
anything like that.
It's constant. It's a constant up and down because you get, they call them cases, and it sounds, too, I don't know, just black and white to call
Too
it a case.
transactional.
Transactional. Yeah.
Good word.
But,
That's a good word. Will.
That's a great word.
I like
That's what I was fishing
Appreciate that.
for.
I like that word. Will.
And so it's up and down. And you could say yes, but then you might not get chosen. I mean, that's the other thing too. It's the options are on the birth mom too. They have to love who they're going to, put a plan in place, an adoption plan in place with a potential family. And then you could get chosen. You might not get chosen, So we had gone through that process a couple different times where one day you feel like, okay, this is the one. Next day you're like, nope, it's not, So, but obviously ultimately we settled on Ace, and he was supposed to be. And one of the ladies that we were working with, she said something very profound. She said, what is meant for you won't pass you up. Because that's the hardest part about it too, is you feel like you're making a decision and you're hoping for the best. And if it doesn't work out, I mean, human emotion the human default is, well, now I'm sad because I want this to work out. But what is meant for you won't pass you up. And that's in the adoption process. That's in sports. That's in life. That's in business. That's in everything. So it was, being on the other side of it with my baby boy, who I was just holding an hour ago, it's surreal. It's amazing. And more than anything, I mean, I love the joy that I get, and I love being a father, but man, seeing Hap as a baby, or as a big brother now, and then seeing my wife, it going through and her having our second child that she's been praying for and thinking about since she was a teenager it's amazing, man. And it's we have fallen in love with adoption, and we might even do it again. We'll see.
Really?
I don't know, man.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a tattoo. I say that too. Like, it's like, I just got Ace tattooed on me here, but it's like whenever you're getting your first tattoo, they're like, I'm just getting one. And everybody's like, no, you'll probably get another one.
Yeah.
And then, that's probably how it is, whether you're having your own biological children or not. I mean, once you fall in love with a child and realize, holy cow, I didn't know what love was almost until, like, I know what being in love with Bree was, but she's another adult who can, like, she can handle herself. Quite frankly, she doesn't even need me. She'll crush it without me.
Yeah.
Right.
But Hap, like,
Which is the best kind of relationship.
it is the best, exactly. And I'm very thankful for it. But also, once I fell in love with Hap, I'm just like, dude, I want freaking 100 babies.
With Hap, that first time seeing him from an adoption standpoint, what was that emotion like for you? Was it instant? Was it take a couple minutes? Because just to preface this, when I first met my firstborn daughter, like, I thought there was going to be like this firework type of emotion immediately. And my first feeling was like worry, like, am I going to fuck this kid up? Am I going to like do something wrong as a father and ruin like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the worries came in before like that euphoric crazy feeling.
Yeah, no. And well, number one, honestly, kudos to you. Cause I think that is an emotion that, and a feeling of, because fatherhood is we're all men here, obviously, and mothers are obviously extremely important too. But the boys, we're talking to mainly men here, and it's like the breakdown of what a father is and the responsibility that we need to take and how seriously we need to take. And being an NFL player is great, and an MMA fighter is great, but the greatest thing that we can be, and the greatest title that we will ever acquire, is being a father, and not just being a father, because anybody can be a father, but being a good father. So to have that feeling, and the first time I held him, I was like, okay, like, life just got real, because now every decision that I make, every opportunity that I take or don't take, every day that I live my life is going to positively or negatively affect this child, or my willingness or ability to be able to take care of them and provide for him. But the first time I held Hap, I was crying like a little baby and just like promised him, I'm just going to love you and take care of you. And he's just like looking at me as a little baby. But a lot of those fears and doubts and insecurities where you're just like, okay, figure this thing out quick. And then you realize you don't figure it out quick, and you fail every single day as a parent. That's the one thing they do not tell you. So all the boys out there who are listening, you're not a father yet. Just get ready to feel the dad guilt to feel the parent guilt, to feel like you're failing every single day, you know, but it's the most beautiful thing in the world because you're really not failing. I think feeling like you're failing is indicative of wanting to be better every single day. So it's a good thing. It's kind of like being an athlete. It's kind of like being good at everything. You're never quite satisfied.
Yeah, if you ever want to be great at something,
Yeah.
like if you feel that failure, it's going to make you better towards the end.
Yeah.
I like
or
that.
even the fear of failure. You
Yeah.
know, it's you know, staying on guard, guarding your heart, guarding your mind,
Mhm.
and putting your best foot forward as much as you possibly can.
Now, as far as Hap goes, is he now aware of what dad does for a living? Is he like totally into it and
Does he
Yeah.
show
watch?
nervousness? Like at this past fight, was he like, holy shit?
You know, I was
Mhm.
like, I was like, oh, but this, you know, it was a mixed emotion because I'm like, man, I want my son to be here if I, you know, knock out Tony Ferguson the way I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But if that same exact thing happened to me, which is what we brave every single time we step in the octagon, Tony Ferguson or the 100th ranked guy in the world or the number 1 ranked guy in the world, you can get knocked out, you can get finished, you can have a bad night, and then you have to share that with your son.
Mhm.
You know, we watched MMA here and there. He's old enough now to understand it and understand and compartmentalize between sport and actually hitting somebody at school or whatnot. And that's, you know, it may be controversial, but that's the way, this is my calling and this is what I'm doing for a living.
Mhm.
So he's going to be involved in it. And yeah, no, he had his headphones on, obviously, because in those arenas, it's sensory overload. It's crazy. And I was, after the fight, after I knocked him out, I don't know if you can read my lips, but I jumped up on the cage. And I'm like, where's my son?
Yeah.
I was like looking because I was scanning. I'm like, where's this dude at? And he's wearing a bright green shirt. I'm like, I should be able to see him. And then I finally saw my wife like carrying him over and I like point to him. I start losing it. I'm like, I had one job. I had one job to like be tough on TV and I
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
lose it
Yeah.
on ESPN, you know, like, so yeah, man, he knows what daddy does. And for us to be able to share that and even us be there cage side, he got up on the cage and first, of course, I had this, you know, black eye and cut, and he's like, "Daddy, ooh, ouchie." I'm like, "I'm okay, baby." I went in for a kiss, and he like turned his head away because my face is all bloody and sweaty and
Yeah.
swollen. He's like, "No, dude, not right now."
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, man, it was awesome, man. I'm glad to have shared it with him. I don't know if I'll do it every fight now because I'm like, it's a little bit too much pressure, you know, to have my son there.
You feel it a little bit more. That walkout, you're kind of feeling that piece. Like,
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
saying personally, it's a little too much pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you want to be able to compartmentalize things because you just want to keep the main thing, which I got a job to do. I want to fight. Even leading up to the fight, I got asked a couple times in interviews and I'm like crying on fight week. And I'm like, do I want to feel this way? Do I not want to feel this way? I know I'm at my best when I start tearing up and I get welled up with emotions. Like actually before the Dan Hooker fight, it happened. I was walking the halls, like crying, listening to my favorite song. This time that happened again, I was like tears running down my face, making the walk like back and forth, pacing, listening to my favorite song, visualizing and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, something epic's about to happen. I didn't know it was going to be this epic. But
it was the
I think
epicest.
I think we're in a
The
good
epic-
spot
It
now.
was the
Yeah.
I
epicest.
think we're in a good spot.
I'll
now.
tell you what, though, he almost caught you in the first round.
Oh,
No, he didn't.
let's hit a little timetable.
didn't.
Let's a little timeline.
We're gonna a little time.
Let's hit a little
Dude,
timetable
you wanna give me a
first.
timetable?
Hold on. Before we get into that,
Yeah.
let's talk about the.
Fuck, Mike.
Timelines. Before this fight, let's back up 2 fights. It's Oliveira,
Okay.
right?
Yes, 2 fights ago. Yes.
2 fights
Oh,
ago.
we're going back.
Well, I want to hit some emotions, how we feel about that. That one ended the way you did. Will and I watching that fight, we thought that first round, if you had another minute, if you had another 30 seconds, you're taking that dude out.
Yeah.
Was that your same feeling?
What do you mean? Oh, in that fight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in that
no,
fight.
for sure. I mean, and I will say, man, God, it's being an athlete in these type of high stakes situation. It's so amazing because it humanizes you and you are not in as much control as you wish you were. Like, obviously that's a title fight. I thought my whole life was a culmination and just struggles and highs and lows leading to that one moment where I was about to beat Charles Oliveira. And I think the emotional adrenaline dump got the best of me there. I also thought I was going to go out there and run through him. I had no reason not to think I wasn't going to. If I put hands on people, I think they usually crumble eventually. And Charles Oliveira had crumbled in the past. And I wasn't afraid of his ground game and I wasn't afraid of his striking. Then I got knocked out later on. But, you know, it's I was on cloud 9 after the Dan Hooker fight. a couple months later, I was like, this is going to happen. I'm going to do this. And, you know, if I had a couple more seconds, yeah, or even a different referee, like not to ever talk about alternate universes, but
referees fuck shit up.
there could have
Right.
been another referee that
That
might
stops
have
it.
might have
Referees
changed,
can
yeah,
referees
exactly.
might have changed.
referees
it.
can
I
mess
never-
shit
yeah,
up.
but I never want to say that because it makes it sound like I was like, oh, if it would have been, you know, Herb Dean or
Sorry,
someone
we can
else.
say that. That's what,
No.
that's what we're here
You know,
for.
it's just that's just how close this sport is, and it's left up to human interpretation in the moment in a split second.
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, but I always say this, and I've said this on the pod before, is if something bad happens to you, but something good comes of it, was it really a bad thing?
Mhm.
Or was that just the necessary coiling of the spring of who I was going to be sitting on the bus right now, talking about all the beautiful things that we're about to talk about on the rest of the pod, that I needed to be cracked in the face in front of all those people. I needed all the doubters to say, I knew you weren't that good. Then I needed to come back and prove myself against Justin Gaethje for them to say, okay, you might be all right, just to get to this Tony Ferguson fight. And now everyone's talking about me, you know, as one of the top guys now. And
It's crazy how fast opinions change.
I'll tell you what, the most, when we
There's
talk
5
about
minutes and 16 seconds, and everybody's opinion changed.
yeah, well, and the greatest thing about opinions when it comes to me is I was put so far behind the 8 ball because I was pushed so fast by the UFC. You know, me coming in and saying I was going to beat Khabib, and then, you know, me getting a title shot after one win in the UFC, everybody hated me just for that. They were just like, I don't like this guy because, you know, this guy was on a 12-fight win streak, and this guy has been in the UFC for 10 years, and this guy's doing this, and this guy's doing that, and this guy's getting paid more than these other guys who have been here. So there was a lot of, the deck was stacked against me from a fan-friendly standpoint. I just needed to get in there to show them, hey, this is who I am, and you guys are going to love when I step
Right.
in the
But
octagon.
they gave you Hooker in the first fight, and he's like, a lot of people arguing that's probably the biggest mismatch
Yeah.
for you coming into the
Yeah,
UFC.
you and Shab having you were asking Shab like, hey, you know, how do you think about this fight? And Shab's like, I don't like it, man.
Yeah,
was-
Yeah, Shab
And
did say
I
that.
told Shab, I was like, hey boys, I don't like it either. I didn't like it either, but I signed on the dotted line and said, I'm going to come in here and say yes to every opportunity. We asked for Ferguson, he said no. We asked for Poirier, he said no. Hooker was the first guy that said yes, and thank God he did. And then, you know, now the rest is history, and I'm on this, you know, four fights in 16, 18 months that, you know, strength of schedule
Exciting
is there.
fucking
Yeah.
And they're fun,
Exciting
so-
fights. So after Gaethje, there's some turbulence.
Yeah.
Some turbulence going on at the beginning of your UFC career. Like, where do you feel you were at going into this fight? Was there worries that, hey, if I slip up on this one, it might be over for me?
No, because if you were talking to me while I was still in Bellator, and one of the reasons I didn't want to come over to the UFC possibly was, hey, I'm the outsider coming in. If they don't see me as a asset, then yeah, they probably will want to be like, hey, I told you those Bellator guys weren't that good. Throw them against killers, and then we cut them, and then it continues to diminish Bellator. But the UFC has not done that. The UFC, with as much ego as we might think that they have, they're willing to swallow their pride and let that ego go, because they know what, if it makes money, it makes sense. If it makes business sense, it makes a lot of sense. And I think what they saw in me was, this guy's going to be entertaining. This guy's going to keep his nose clean. He's not going to be a bad thing for the organization. And that's what I told him from the very beginning. I want to be a good thing for your organization. And it just so happens that you guys are the cream of the crop. You guys are where I want to be. So let's make some magic together. And now we've done it. And they've, you know, I think they've gotten a really good return on their investment. And, you know, let's keep on.
But you didn't feel
I think the return hasn't even started yet.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I'm
that-
saying?
that
Like
too.
we've made our money. We made our money back from our initial investment. Now it's time to reap the benefits. It sounds
Yeah.
like.
I hope so, man. I think, I'm just, and I actually just talked to, you know, one of the guys yesterday about some business things. And it's like, I just want to, when you get to a certain point, you just want to do good business with good people, and a mutually beneficial win-win situation in all of your business transactions. And that's where I am with the UFC. I think they see me and they're like, hey, we can take this guy and do something great with him. And I'm like, hey, I can use the UFC and do something great with my life. So where's the rub? There's no way that this doesn't turn out great.
you didn't feel like you felt any pressure at all to drop 3 in a row and getting a loss by Tony Ferguson. Be like,
We felt the pressure for you.
damn,
You're right. Well,
damn, I could really, like you said, being behind the 8 ball, like, damn, I would really put myself behind the 8 ball if I drop a 3rd fight in a row to Tony.
no, you're right. And that was your original question that I never answered. But I did somewhat, but also we're in the entertainment business as well. Like, if this was all about wins and losses, the champions that we have right now wouldn't necessarily be the champions that we have. The biggest names, most lucrative fighters and big money fights and big pay-per-views wouldn't be, the making that type of money if it was all about the record. And that's what I love about
Conor McGregor.
No,
I'm just kidding.
it's not. No, it's not. But
Sounds like a direct
I
shot
love-
at Conor McGregor to
No, but
me.
it
You
is
guys heard
true.
it here first.
No, yeah. No, but if you look at the X's and O's, yeah, I mean, but we are an entertainment business first, and then it's skill right after that, or it's record right after that. You got to make people feel something. If you don't make people feel something, it's not a good product. If you're not a good product, nobody wants to watch you fight. So, that's why I think people love mixed martial arts as well, though, too. Because none of us are perfect. All of us have losses. All of us, you get to see all of us with these black eyes and on the ground, after Charles Oliveira TKOs me, or after a fight where I, lose to Justin Gaethje, or Justin Gaethje this weekend gets choked out. It's like, you guys get to see us at our lowest points and get another L on our record. And it's an individual sport. That's why I think people love it. So it's almost, like I said, if a bad thing happens to you and a good thing comes of it, these losses don't mean a dang thing. How many losses I got? I don't know. How many wins have I got? I don't know. But people are going to watch me fight. They don't care. I'm 23-7. Fact check at 23-7.
It's so funny, dude. We interrupt this episode to shout out SportClips. No free shout outs. Has it been a while since your last haircut? Head on over to the boys at SportClips and ask for the MVP haircut experience. It comes with an expert precision haircut, a neck and shoulder treatment, perfectly steamed towel, and a shampoo massage. Neck and shoulder treatment not available in Washington or Oregon, so just understand that, people of Washington and Oregon. So sit down, relax, and leave with the energy and confidence to face whatever your day throws at you. The boy Taylor, he just got a haircut recently from SportClips. Show him that flow. Show him that flow, dude. That little beard trim too that they do, they take full care of you. Massage, shampoo, all of it. There's plenty of things in life to worry about. Worrying about your haircut shouldn't be one of them. SportClips, the pros in men's hair.
Bro, if I was in Washington or Oregon, I'd be so hot right now.
What do you rank now? Didn't those rankings come out?
So it's funny. Now I have a number 5 by my name, which it would have been a number 4 by my name because it would have been champion 1, 2, 3, 4. So the rankings, I actually went up a ranking, but I still have a 5 by my hand because there is no champion because Charles Oliveira decided to not make weight.
Decided
Yeah,
to not be a
dude,
pro.
let's get into that.
You want to be a pro.
Oh yeah, that.
What do you think about that? What do you think about him not making weight and then the vacancy of like them vacating the UFC title?
Number 1, I will stand firm that I think the UFC did the right thing. Man, if you can't do the most basic thing for us, what?
JP over
We
there
know- we
shaking
know
his
JP.
head.
Which is make
Hey,
weight.
He's somebody who's like, oh,
Which is
no,
make
let him
weight.
go.
You
You gotta be a pro. You
don't
gotta be a pro.
What, him?
Hey,
you
Michael
don't-
Chandler doesn't know what he's talking
you
about.
don't
That is
weigh
true.
in,
We
you
have
don't
no
wrestle.
idea.
What's this guy
That's
done?
what I always
Yeah.
say. And listen, I would never kick a guy while he's down. And I said that he's not really down because he won the last fight.
And you can't have a title fight without him in it.
No,
Everybody literally
no,
sits
for
there and
sure.
goes, well, he's still the champion.
For sure. And that's
Yeah.
Right.
fine. But in life, there are consequences to your actions or inactions. And the inaction of him or the action of him not making weight, it's, if anything, all it does is keep on adding wrinkles to the most electrifying division in the UFC. I freaking love it. Like everyone talks about the lightweight division because of the dudes that are in it and stuff like this that are happening and that's happening. And, the 8 ball is Conor coming back. And then, Poirier talking about going up to 170 and there's just all kind of stuff happening. And it's just,
Do you think that there should be a situation to where Oliveira shouldn't fight in the next title fight?
I mean, there's a chance that he could come back. He wants the Conor fight. If he got the Conor
I'm
fight,
asking about the title.
the title,
You're
no.
saying they vacated the title.
No, he has to
and-
come back and fight for the title.
Okay.
And the UFC already said that, and it's most likely going to be Islam Makhachev and him fighting for the title. That's what we're all hearing in the media, and that's what inside sources are saying. So then you got Gaethje, who obviously fought on the same night. You got Poirier, who's kind of a, we're not sure what he's doing. He's talking about fighting Diaz. I don't think that fight's going to materialize. But Neil Dariush dropped a spot or two, 2 spots actually, according to the thing there. And then, so I don't know. I'm in a spot right there where I'm just chilling and hanging out, and we'll see what happens.
Is there a sense of urgency for you to go get another fight, or are you right now sitting pretty? Like maybe you wait for that belt fight to happen. That belt fight happens, then you start weighing pros and cons because you're you're the next dude. And now we were on the pod. What was it, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Last Thursday. And we're
Or
saying,
Monday.
what are you chasing?
Yeah, it
Are
was
you if we're you, are we going that belt, or are we trying to get Conor and get that bag?
Gosh dang, man. It sure is nice to have that as maybe the two options. But if I had to choose, man, I want to be able to say I was UFC champion. I was the number one guy in the world. That would be the number one goal. Conventional wisdom and guys like yourself might say you got to chase the bag. But let's be honest, I want to chase the bag as well. But I also, it's hard to say that because I can't quite tell people that it is about the money. It is about taking care of my family, of course. But man, I just want epic fights on epic stages with epic dudes, and Conor's that dude. Having Conor as your dance partner for one of these fights, and my last, call it 8 or 10 fights in the UFC is, it's epic. It's what careers are made of.
I think anybody that says like, "Oh, go chase the bag," I don't doubt. I would say that right now to you. But if it was like flipped around, and you were like, "What would you do?" We're all gonna want the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of really want, like, making a lot of money is nice, but like being able to say you're a Super Bowl champion is like, you've
but
made the pinnacle.
The belt is so fluid that, like, I feel like in the UFC, like
You can have both.
You can have both.
You can have
And
both.
It's like a momentary thing. Like there's certain moments to where some opportunity might be better than the other. And in a case like this where Conor hasn't won in a long time, like he's out there trolling, he's out there being like, I'm gonna pick my fight, I'm gonna pick a comeback. And like you said, epic fights with epic people on like an epic stage. Like if you're somebody sitting back being like, yo, I could potentially end Conor McGregor's career and it would produce a lot of money, you could do that first. And then you're set up beautifully to get the title after that.
Well, that's the thing too.
That would be the perfect storm.
Ooh,
that would be legit the best. Like you fired me up just by listening to that. I got a little.
You up?
Yeah,
Or
fired me up.
I
Maybe
got
not as
goosies,
much
I got
as
goosies
him. I didn't
over here,
get-
you know
I
what I'm
didn't get
saying?
goosies, but
We're
I definitely got
fans.
fired up.
You know what I'm saying? We're fans. We don't care what we say. Like we can say whatever we
We're
want.
legit fans.
Yeah,
like what
like-
Bert says, we're fucking, when that kick landed,
Like, like we were like that.
Bro.
And when that first round, when you caught you at the stumble, we're like, no, get up. It was legit like straight up fans like yelling at the TV screen.
Yeah,
Don't wake the baby, but
yeah.
fuck, you know?
We're watching our boy fight.
Yeah,
We're watching our
the
fucking
boy fight, and it was
that's-
legitimately like we were in there with you.
Yeah.
When NF turned on, oh, ain't that some? Man, you ain't hear that coming. We're like, oh, fuck. I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, we're in this shit. I'm in the front row. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting for things to happen.
Dude,
You get
yeah.
out there
Yeah.
and start like cruising around the ring. I'm like, oh, we're about to do this. Moving the damn bus around. I'm moving this bus around right now, getting hyped
Cameras are
up.
falling and shaking.
Oh,
dude.
bro, dude, so stoked
Yeah.
about it.
But just like what you're talking about there too, you can get that, like you said, you can get that with both. Me fighting for the title, the boys, of course, like my closest dudes, but also the people who are fans of me, they're gonna feel that in a title fight, and they're definitely gonna feel it in a Conor fight. So it's almost like,
individual.
yeah, you're asking.
You're very polished. You're very good. I'm going to put you back
Yeah.
in the box.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
put me individual, personal. Mike Chandler. Which of those fights would you rather have?
I want the title.
So if you got to pick your next fight, it'd be the title fight.
I want Conor. I don't know.
So what you
No, I also don't want to sit here and act like it's up to me, okay? It's,
No,
you
but
know,
listen,
that's what's hard, you know?
Like we're out here playing chess. First off, like I know we're kind of bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah.
What you did on the mic after
Oh.
was fucking chess. I texted you. I was like, hey, you played the fucking game.
You're letting him get out of it. You're letting him get out of it.
Yeah.
Put me back to the box.
But let me
Put me
round you
back
back.
to the
Let me round you back. Who do you want? Because you're getting to the point right now that after that electric knockout, you could say, I want McGregor.
Okay, here's what I would say.
If you got to call it.
Here's how I would say it. If I got to call it, I would say right now, Conor, only because.
Say it with a little
Only
more
because-
conviction, though. Say it with a little more conviction. Dana.
No, it's not. It's a wireless caller, man. Y'all be getting
Put him on
Put it on
No.
speaker.
But Conor, because I think never has there been somebody who's like a front runner. I feel like I'm the front runner right now. I could be the front runner. I'm exciting. I got the hype. I got the people behind me. I got the knockouts.
You got the
I got
hillbilly fights with Gaethje
I
and
get the
shit.
hillbilly fights with Gaethje. I got the call out. People can see me on the mic and they know there's going to be some verbal jujitsu going on there on the microphones. Me and him going back at it respectfully, of course.
on my side,
disrespectfully.
on my side at least. We'll see.
Hey, you know what'd be awesome is if you hit him with a big fuck you to start. You know what I'm saying? Like you just went Oppo 180, like Oppo. Oh, good old American boy, Mike Chandler. Just tell people to go fuck themselves now. And his wife's in his DMs. Like that.
They're like, oh, we flipped the script
Flip
here.
the script. I don't think he knows what's going on.
No, he'd be like, what is
Take him
happening?
to the pantry just on fucking Twitter.
Oh my god,
Come
bro.
on.
Hey, step into my office. Hey, step into my
Every time he
office.
tweets.
Yeah.
Every time he tweets.
Yeah, bro.
Step into my office.
Oh, bro.
But yeah, back to that. I think I'm on the cusp of being the guy who's in the conversation with Conor, and very few people get into the conversation with Conor. So obviously there you got to take it a little, oh, he's crying. There you got to take it a little bit more seriously or put a little bit more weight in that, because I still think I go out there and I beat Conor, I'm fighting next for the title anyway, like you said. So
Bang, bang, boom.
but that's nothing is guaranteed. This sport moves quickly, and who knows? There could be injuries happening. There could be all kinds of stuff happening. Dudes all of a sudden say they don't want to fight each other, and I'm the guy who's sitting there, all right, I'll fight it. I've done nothing but say yes since September 19th when I signed with this organization in 2020.
Mm-hmm. It seems like Conor doesn't want it. I feel like he's afraid right now, because I think he knows.
I think he's afraid.
I think Conor McGregor's scared of you.
I don't think Conor
he is. I think Conor McGregor is scared of Michael Chandler.
Listen, what I have heard about Conor is Conor's not scared of any. No, Conor is not scared of anybody, because I can tell you right now, if there was one dude that I thought he was scared of, it was Khabib. But all back behind the scenes conversations were that he wanted that fight again. Conor is not afraid to fight anybody. Conor wants to fight the toughest guys on the planet. So for a moment, I was like, he probably doesn't want to fight me because I'm not that great of a matchup. But Conor wants to fight the toughest dudes. Conor is that dude. And we can talk about, not we, because I don't. I think he is that dude. A lot of people say that sentiment that he doesn't want the tough fights. The dude wants the tough fights. And I truly believe that. So I just think, I think we got some magic happening, but also Conor, his tweet always is, I can see that happening down the line.
At some point in my career, does it ever you're just like,
no, it doesn't, because
Come on, what the fuck are you saying, bro?
It doesn't, because if I was in Conor's position, or if any of you us were in Conor's position, leave your options open, because you are Conor. You can come back and fight whoever, whenever, wherever. So don't say, yeah, I'll fight you, or say I'll fight that guy.
He's really that man, though. Hey, does that make you nervous when you see that? I saw that on the screen. I legit got kind of nervous.
No, it doesn't. But dude, this is combat sports.
Can you put the music on?
Personified. This is combat sports personified, and you can say he's not that great of a fighter. You can trash him all you want, but the sport of mixed martial arts changed when this man became a superstar.
Yeah,
combat sports in general, for history. The rest of combat sports history, there may never be another dude that creates that amount of intrigue, that amount of attention, and that amount of mic dropping power with everything he does.
Yeah, dude.
He talks about anything on Twitter, it gets retweeted a billion times.
Imagine if you're sitting there right now.
I want to get the green, dewy, foggy dew treatment if we fight for sure.
That should just go hard.
You're saying you want
he's got the best, and he's got the best walkout of all time, though.
He does.
He's got the best walkout of all time.
This foggy dew. Oh, bro. And it's got to be in Vegas.
And imagine if let's say you're the underdog, you're sitting there,
first, yeah.
and you got
or in Dublin.
You got the fog on you.
Go in Dublin.
In Dublin.
Like Rocky IV, you're going to
Oh
Russia.
my god, bro!
I think it's called Croke Park or something. There's a big stadium out there that they've talked about doing, Croke Park or something like that. Yeah, that would be awesome too. And I would love to go to enemy territory, because I love the Irish fans. Like, I love the English fans. I love all the European fans. It's obviously us speaking the same language helps, but man, it's a lot of fun. They are a great group of people, like fight fan wise.
And they love some beer, dude.
And they love some points.
They do.
I said points on a BT Sports interview, which goes all to Europe, and everybody was making fun of me because, like, isn't that what you guys call them? We call them pints, but you call them points.
They call
because of the accent.
The accent. Yeah.
And they made fun of me. POYNTS. But yeah, this is, and the cool thing about Conor is he looks different every single fight. He'll shave his head.
He does.
He'll go a short beard. He'll go a long beard. Might get another tattoo. He might go
disrespectful. He'll go perspective.
He's different every single time.
You know what I'm saying, JP?
What's the
Like
most dangerous Conor
a couple
though?
fights ago, like when he's like,
The
"Yeah,
most
I'm gonna get
respectful
fired
Conor is
by
the most
family
the
around."
most dangerous.
I think so.
It
Yeah.
seems like, and
Disrespectful
lots of
Conor,
hair
for sure.
Conor also seems like the most dangerous Conor to me.
Yeah.
Well kept fade Conor.
No,
I don't think
actually-
that's as dangerous.
No, actually, the most dangerous we've ever seen Conor was him when he won the second belt. He won the 155 belt and he knocked out Eddie Alvarez in that first or second round. That is the cleanest combination I have ever seen in my entire life in slow motion. He like does a pull back when Eddie throws a right hand. He does a pull back and hits him with a 4-piece. And Eddie doesn't know that he's in the Northeast. He thinks he's in another part of the world.
I want to see it.
Hey, that thing in Vegas would be fire, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, it needs to be said, I haven't fought in Vegas yet. All right. Like I've been signed with the UFC for a year and a half,
Yeah.
4 fights, and I have now fought in.
See,
Yeah,
look,
it's coming
he's got a fade going right there.
Yeah, he
I
does.
guess
You're
he does.
right.
I guess a little bit, but it is a little bit.
He's
short.
got that calm stance, dude.
Yeah.
He does.
Like he's just about to pick his
Yeah,
shot.
but he puts his like chin out
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's dangerous in that first round too.
He is.
Dangerous.
Yeah,
Got Lank.
we're both dangerous in the first round, so I think it'd be an epic first
Oh
round.
my
Obviously,
God,
it'd be,
wouldn't
it'd be
it?
a fun one because I'm gonna be like, let's do this thing, bro.
Hey, so you don't feel like you got caught a little bit in the first round?
No,
Oh, dude, come on.
okay, guys.
Hey, we're boys. Yeah, you were seeing stars. You were seeing stars for a second.
we're
Was it like
fighting
a-
in
like
4
when you
ounce
got
gloves,
caught and you
dude.
like drop for a second? Is it like just a huge adrenaline dump? Like, oh, get the fuck up and
Yeah. I mean, it was
I like that word, adrenaline dump.
adrenaline dump. Yeah, no, it's more just you get hit with a shot that you don't see coming in a weird spot. My temple up here is sore. I think I got hit in the temple, which obviously messes your equilibrium up, and it's you don't know which way is up. And me, I got this thing where I kind of fall backwards, and luckily I'm able to like kind of spin out of it and get back up. And he wasn't able to completely kind of capitalize on the scenario,
finish.
and I was able to be like, okay, I'm freaking fighting a tough dude. This ain't gonna be an easy fight, which actually made me even more happy. Because I wanted to be in a fight. Sometimes that distance is hard to negotiate, man, especially when you're fighting a guy who's almost 6 foot tall. And I'm just like, dude, I just want to get in your face and make this a slugfest. But
You ain't ground and
everything
pound.
everything in me doesn't want to do that. So obviously, we got the blast double, and he saw stars a couple times on the ground. I cut him open with an elbow. My right hand landed a couple times. I know right where to hit a guy, kind of on that temple soft spot. Whenever you can hold his head and give him a couple of these, and they're like, he kind of did one of these numbers. So.
I feel
Which
you on
softened him up a little bit.
I feel you on
But
that.
then even at the end of the first round, dude, he smacked me in the chest. I smacked him in the chest. He smacked me in the butt. He's bleeding. I'm bleeding. People were like, okay, this is about to be a
When you like
2 more rounds of barn burner.
when he was on his back and you like I think he was like trying to kick you off real quick and you went up for a second to go back down. There were some driplets that started hitting him on the chest and stomach, and you're like, oh fuck,
Dude, so that was
That
my
shit's
that was
real.
my nose.
Oh really?
So I don't know if it was obviously I had just been in Arizona for 5 days at that point.
Dry nose.
I get a bloody
Dry
nose
nose.
every time I'm in Arizona.
Hey, adversity in Arizona.
Shout out to Arizona.
What is
No
it?
free shouts.
It's
so dry out there.
Yeah.
You get bloody
You
noses.
get bloody
So,
noses.
but obviously I got hit, but also getting hit in the eye right here.
Mm.
It's so close to your nasal passage too. I think it kind of did something here, and that's where the blood started. But it wasn't bleeding while I was on the ground or on the feet. It only happened while I was on the ground. So maybe it was the fact that my head was down and I wasn't standing vertical anymore. I really don't know, but it was bleeding pretty bad. I was like, dang, dude, where'd that come from? That doesn't look good. So part of it's like, it doesn't look good that you're bleeding. It
Yeah.
doesn't look good that you got probably a shiner. I couldn't see it at that point, but I knew something was going on. I got to start effing this dude's face up to even the score. You
Yeah.
start chasing things you shouldn't be chasing, and luckily you just
It's legit chest out
Pat
there.
McAfee punt kick him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking talk about that, dude. Like you almost like low key ended his life.
I don't know. It's hard, man. We see a lot of really bad knockouts, unfortunately, in this sport. And he was out for a while, and his legs were crossed, his feet were crossed, and they, you kind of get that convulsing where it's like, where your body's just like breathing, but you're not breathing. Your body is just like doing it for itself.
Hey, that kind of scares
And,
me.
and yeah, it was right there. She's smiling, smacks me in the butt. Like, so it was,
But that kicked something you said you just kind of threw it out of the
I don't
toolbox.
train it a ton. I don't train it a ton, but it was more of a distance. It was more of a distance finder. But I feel like I remember the kick though. A lot of times you don't remember the knockouts. You don't remember. You're just like, I got to see it on replay. But I remember standing in front of him. I remember him circling this way, and I was like, let's see what happens. And there is no let's see what happens gingerly with me.
Right.
I'm just like, let's see what happens as hard as I could. And dude, it just landed there and put him on the ground.
Yeah, I thought you killed him.
Did you have any? You must not have had a clue that he was out like that. Because
No, I
you were
did.
hitting about 4 backflips.
I did.
Like, you kept doing the one more thing. I'm like, yo,
No,
I don't know if Mike knows. He's just laying there
He's really into this
fucking-
flip thing.
Like
Okay,
a
here's
Apollo
the
Creed
thing.
and
Yeah, I
dead
need
on
to
the
clear
ground.
something up here. Yes, there's a lot of people who are like, you shouldn't be celebrating while your opponent's down.
Nah, fuck that.
Number
I think I
one.
saw you flip him off while he's on the ground too.
That's not true. I give him
Yeah.
Backflips
No, but honestly, here's the thing: is they don't actually let you go over to your opponent anyway. By the way, when someone gets knocked out, your corner. If you notice, my cornermen weren't in there. His cornermen weren't in there. It was doctors and it was the referee and it was medical people. They're all surrounding him. And if I tried to come over, I knew they were going to push me away anyway. Because for liability reasons, what if I'm a psychopath and he said something about my wife and kids and I wanted to like stomp on his nuts while he was down? Like that kind of stuff can happen. So if safeguard, they kind of make a little huddle around him, and I knew I wouldn't have been able to come over. And I'm also not a guy who's going to. I think when dudes come over and start hugging and kissing and doing all that stuff, like, oh, good fight. It's like, it's more about me than it is about actually how you want to console your opponent. And I've always said that I don't like it. Or me walking over to him and like getting on my knees and doing this number. I see guys do that. I'm just like,
You think it's just a?
I think you're making it more about yourself than
play.
you are
It's
that.
a
So I'm
play.
like, but then again,
You're
I
trying
work.
to show how graceful.
For sure. But then again, I guess the flip
Gracious.
side of that is if I want to flip my own argument on my head, I guess I was making it about me by doing backflips as well. But also, that's what I would do had I choked them out, had I won a great
Right.
decision or whatever. That's just, I wanted to do some backflips. I made a decision. I already had my call out speech ready and I was going to do some backflips.
How
And I was
many
going to
was it,
hopefully
like
find
4
my
of them?
son. Yeah, it was only 4.
Jumped on the cage twice.
Yeah,
but I guess
because
you're
the
finding you're going to
4's a
find
lot.
your son.
4. Yeah, 4.
Well, that was a lot of
Push the
flips.
dude out of the way.
I did,
and
and
another one.
I actually, I
everybody's
almost
yelling,
kicked him in the head.
"One more."
I tracked down 2 dudes.
There he is, big dude.
I tracked down 2 dudes.
Get
and
the
said-
fuck
and I
off
said,
me.
"Hey,
Yeah.
his name is Tate. I said, hey, do you have Tate's number? I got to get a hold of him and apologize to him. I called him that night, didn't answer. So I wrote him a long text. I was like, dude, I just saw the video. I looked like a huge D-bag. I was in the moment. I am so sorry. And he was so nice. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Yeah, for sure. Because because Tate's one of the best. He's been one of the cut men there.
That's a big-ass man, too. That's a big-ass
He's been a
dude.
cut man in the UFC now for like a decade. He's seen all of these post-fight reactions, crying, jumping, screaming, backflipping,
Yeah.
cussing, whatever. He's seen it all. So he knows that's not me. That's not the dude on the bus right now. That's the psychopath who
You just won in a huge
like I
way.
can't be held accountable for, for that
is
dude right
so
now.
funny. You really stapled. You really fucking brought it in. That the backflip's your thing.
It's my
You-
thing, bro.
That's your thing.
I'll never do it off the cage again. So I just wanted to do it from ground to ground. I mean, I used to do it in my previous fights all the time. You know,
Hey, that's
but in the
impressive.
UFC, I've only won twice. So I did the one jump off the cage, which was ill advised and could have broke both my legs. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, that was
And
dangerous.
then I did this, and now I do this. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on backflipping until the wheels fall off. And maybe the wheels do fall off someday. And everybody's like, "Oh, he just knocked out Conor, and then now he just broke his leg. So I guess we won't see him for a year and a half."
So in your mind, you're like, I got the backflips down. I got the speech because I want to talk about the speech, like your speech.
Yeah, you gotta
fucking-
talk. You gotta bring up the
about that.
speech.
Like if there's anything I had for Mike Chandler, my scouting report on something he needed to work on, it's working the microphone. And I feel like that whole thing happened. And Taylor looks back at me. I'm like, oh yeah, he did that.
You think I need to work on the
I thought
microphone?
Before,
I have
I'm
subpar skills on the microphone.
I'm talking before this fight.
Dang,
I
come,
thought
bro.
if there's anything you needed to work on was
Hey,
getting the mic game up
He
a
said
little
that
bit.
out loud. We were sitting there before the fight, like we were analysts. Like we were analysts.
When did I underperform on the microphone?
Well, I'll have to go back and check the tape.
Yeah,
and
you
I'll
need to
show
go
you.
back and check the tape right now.
Here's what
I'm so mad at you right now. I'm so mad.
Do you not feel like what you just did on the mic has been your best mic work in your career?
Oh, for sure.
by far.
But I've only had 2 mic works. Bellator I was never going to get on the mic because I wasn't fighting the best guys in the world. I wasn't on the biggest promotion in the world. It'd be like trying to be the biggest cool dude in the world, being a running back for the CFL. You're just like, well, who does this dude think he is? If you really think you're something, go to the UFC, then get on the microphone.
Michael Chandler doesn't think CFL people should celebrate.
I'm sorry. I hope I don't know. Whatever. You get the.
No, I get what you're saying. You're not at the pinnacle. You're not at the
For
peak.
sure.
So why are you celebrating? You're not there yet.
Yeah,
I get
for
what you're
sure.
saying.
So,
But what Will's saying, I think something that can be misconstrued is you're really nice.
oh, that's what
You're
you guys
really
are saying.
no.
You want me can say a couple
no,
more
that's
cuss words.
That's what
dude.
I'm.
I wouldn't mind it, but
I wouldn't mind it.
But I like as I'm saying, and you're like, I've only done the mic work twice. And I'm like, yeah, I guess he's right.
Yeah.
But coming into the UFC, like knowing like if you're gonna get in the conversation,
Yeah, you gotta
like do shit because your social media game's changing a little bit.
Hey, you are getting a little chippier.
Hey, thank
Which
you.
I love. Which I
No,
love.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude, I love
Taylor
it.
texted me like 6 in the morning about the DS.
Dude. Yeah.
I love
Was
it,
called a
though.
little boy or something like that.
Oh no, daddy's. You know, he was talking about the UFC being his daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Bro, I tell you
That's
what.
what I'm saying, 'cause
I
you're-
woke up and checked my phone. I was like, holy shit. Chandler's just out here on a rampage right now.
I'm just thinking you got to be a certain like you got to be the way you were on the mic the other night and the way your social media game's changing a little bit. Like those are the things you got to do in my head to like if you're like wanting to propel yourself in the conversation, not like this is Will's keys to success, but I'm thinking like if you're making noise like you are usually like a nice dude,
Yeah.
and you got to make noise like you're
This-
making
yeah.
now.
Like
So
when
that's why I
a
like
good- a good
we are
example-
willing.
a good example of that might have been when Ferguson grabbed his ankle. Like grab my ankle.
Yeah.
Grab my ankle real quick. You should have walked away. You know what I'm saying?
See, I
Hit him
like
with the flinch.
I feel like
What do
yeah,
they,
you're
were,
right.
they were like doing the standoff or whatever. You guys got
Oh,
the flex in.
yeah.
And
I see what
Ferguson
you're
grabbed his
talking
ankle
about.
like
Yeah, I
this.
see
And
what
you
you're
just
talking
point and smile at
But
him.
you knew he was joking though. You
Yeah,
know,
but
you knew
fuck
he was
that.
kind of
We're
joking.
selling tickies over here,
Yeah,
baby.
that's true.
We're selling tickets. Grab my ankle again. Bitch, I wish you would. And you walk off. I walk off. You grab your son, pick his ass up one hand.
I like to. I've told you about this before. I like to live between the two extremes. You got this psychopath right here that everybody sees on the TV, and then you see the normal me, and somewhere in between, you never quite know what you're gonna get. Like if push comes to shove, this dude will show up and heads will roll. But for the most part, you know, I want to live kind of in between somewhere. But
I know you do.
It was incredible.
I know you do. I'm talking strictly when you're in this octagon. I don't
Strictly when I'm in the
wanna
octagon,
fucking
for
talk
sure.
about this
no,
these
for sure.
egos you're
And I
talking
think
about.
I also didn't want to come in with such a loud, boisterous, because I hadn't proven myself. Yet.
Bravado.
I think bravado.
Ooh, that's
yes,
good.
man. You all are coming up with some
Yeah,
good
we're-
words.
Well,
today
hey,
when I
listen,
can't
Will started
find
it. Will started it.
When I'm
I pulled out the
fishing for a
old
word, you guys
thesaurus.
just hit me with it. But also imagine if I would have came in, and I guess I kind of did with Hooker a little bit, but like imagine if this was my first call out or whatever in the UFC, which I did get some crap for the Hooker thing at the very beginning because they were like, "Who's this dude? Who does he think he is?" So I wanted to kind of come
Work
in,
the mic the right way.
dip my toe in the water a little bit, prove myself, because I think everyone's got to prove themselves at every level of every endeavor. I've proven myself now. Now you can maybe see me, you know, open up the laces a little bit.
How,
Yeah.
how
Whatever
long
that
did
means.
you
Just start
I don't
calling
know, I don't
yourself him. You know what I'm saying? Start calling himself him. You know what I'm saying?
Did you recite this? Like, were you thinking about this speech?
Yeah, well, I knew I was going to call out both guys in the main event, and I knew I was going to call out Conor because those all made sense. And it was honestly true that people can see straight through BS and they can see straight through inauthenticity. I truly believe that there's not an MMA fan on the planet who wouldn't want to see me rematch Charles Oliveira or Justin Gaethje. So just remind them. So you had to remind them, and I do think that had I done this, which I knew I was going to, or at least I was manifesting it that I was going to, that Conor should be the next guy to call out because it just makes a lot of sense.
If
we
Dana
are
happens to have a lapse in judgment, I
a
thought I thought
momentary lapse in
beautifully.
judgment.
You call out these two guys, and you say if Dana has a lapse in judgment, there's one dude, Conor McGregor, and everybody's getting fired up. Look at
There you go.
Rogan smiling.
Hit the. Hey,
And everybody erupts, bro.
bro, I had goosebumps right now. I got goose again.
Yeah,
I had gooses again, dude.
Is it cool, like, hearing obviously it's fucking awesome hearing the crowd erupt, but in the beginning of the fight, you heard a lot of Tony Ferguson fans.
I did, yeah.
Tony,
Hey,
Yeah,
two
dude.
American
Cinco
boys
de
in
Mayo
the
weekend, El Cucuy, Mexican descent on Cinco de Mayo weekend too. Like that was the other thing that I
Yeah.
didn't quite
Arizona.
think
I
about. In
didn't think about that
Arizona,
either. Yeah.
large
Border
Mexican
country.
contingent, like which I did not quite think about until I got there, and I was like, this might be hostile territory. But win the crowd, Maximus.
Yeah, you
Win
did,
the crowd.
bro.
Yeah, you
Oh,
won
man.
it.
Man.
All
We
those
were
people,
so fucking
all those
hyped.
people who started yelling Tony in the beginning were definitely cheering at the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, and MMA fans too, man. They want to see a show. They got their
Yeah.
fighters. You could not dislike a guy, but you definitely got a guy that you're most likely going to root for. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I knew going to the UFC, you have to be willing to brave these type of emotional triggers that were going to happen, like the big loud media and a lot of attention, and the crowds are going to be hostile and may or may not be for you or against you. Next time I could be the huge pop. I could be fighting whoever, and I get a bigger pop, and now I'm like, oh shoot, now I definitely got to perform, and it could mess me up even worse than having a bad crowd pop. You never quite know until you get in there and you're like, here goes nothing. and freaking
Yeah.
strap on the gloves
Gotta be
and go.
Vegas. Gotta be Vegas. Gotta be
it's
McGregor.
Vegas. I hope it's Vegas. I got a
What do you think
I got an
about
MRI today. I had a couple CT scans and MRIs yesterday just to like look at some stuff and just make sure I get healthy and see
I
what
get the hyperbaric chamber.
the hyperbaric chamber. I
get
did that
the hyperbaric
yesterday.
chamber.
I'll do that again maybe this afternoon or tomorrow or
I
something.
think it's like 1 hour for 45 days
for your brain?
for your brain.
Yeah.
Clears up a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy. There's like scans they can do. I think there's a place in New York where they take scans of your brains. They can show you where like damage is, and then
It's like a Doppler radar.
yeah, and there's like a study where if you do hyperbaric chamber 45 days on a
Straight.
certain frequency for just an hour,
Yeah.
then they show you your pictures the next time, and it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Supposed
be.
to be.
Clear skies. You're
Well,
right.
yeah,
It's
a couple
like-
clouds,
it's
couple
like-
clouds,
it's
but
like
you
New
know.
Clouds here and there.
There's a spot in LA, and I think there's also a spot in Atlanta too where they do those they do that imaging.
Yeah.
Because that's like 100%. 45 days for an hour, and apparently it clears up the weather, dude.
Yeah, I need to clear up the
Something I
weather.
think we obviously
We
all
should all
immediately
try to
do
at
it
least
whenever
try
I
to
we're-
need to
clear up the
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get on
After a
that.
season, that should be probably the first thing you do for the
Yeah,
next 45 days.
yeah.
exactly. So
do,
clear up a
you
couple
worry,
things.
do you worry about that stuff at all? Is that a fear of yours?
Yeah, I mean, of course, a little bit, but especially with my fight style, like I said last time I was here, is like I can't trust myself. I know who I am when I step inside there, and it's not pussyfooting around like let's kind of get into a point fight. I'm like, dude, let's make some carnage here, and it's a good thing for the promoters, for the fans,
For us watching.
for you guys watching,
Yeah.
and it's good for me sometimes too as an athlete because sometimes you can break dudes and just go right through them. But longevity wise, yeah. But I've also have been well read on a lot of stuff as well. Obviously, brain injuries happen, and repeated blows to the head is obviously never a good thing. But diet, supplementation, sleep, hyperbaric chamber. There's so many things where we talk about, CTE or dementia and all these other things where we're like, okay, well, it's got to be because of head injuries, or it could be the fact that you eat way too many refined carbs, sugars, and all that kind of stuff, and is messing with your brain as well. So I think my diet and the way that I treat my body is at least going to buffer against some of that stuff as well.
Mm.
But I definitely think about it because, yeah, winning a title is great, but man, being able to enjoy my two sons for the rest of their lives is
Right.
the most important thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever
And my body is holding up, like, a couple little things here. I freaking dislocated my finger 20 minutes before the fight, in the warm up. So I just gotta make sure that's
how the fuck
not
does that happen?
just
bad trainer,
happens.
dude.
No,
That's
it
to
was
do with-
great.
that's to
No,
do with the
Oh,
two,
that's right.
the
No,
braided,
no,
the braided
that's
hair.
Jason, no, it wasn't
Jason's
him.
fault.
It wasn't him.
Jason, you messed up.
No,
You almost
it
lost
was
the fight
actually
for him.
DeMarquez Jackson is one of my best friends, and he's been in my corner now for like 20 fights. It was my idea. I was done warming up. Shogun and OSP, the fight before me, were in like starting the third round. So I'm walking in like 20 minutes, and I'm like, hey, Marquez, hop up, throw some left high kicks at me, and I want to hit you to the body because I want to go left body liver off the left high kick. He throws a couple, and then I catch one, and it just bent these two fingers all the way back and touched the back of my glove, and then they went back, and I was like, oh, something happened. And I took I wasn't looking at it. I took my finger like this, and I went like this, and I touched it because it didn't hurt. And I was like, oh God. And Henry put his face in his shirt like this, and he's like, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. And like, luckily I went like this and made a fist, and I felt it go pop. And I was like, and I was able to make a fist. So I had Dr. Davidson come over, who's the UFC doc, and he like looked at it. He's like, as long as you make a fist, you're good. I can't like fully.
Right now,
down.
but at the time you probably could.
At the time I could, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the swelling happened. I'm wearing a size 13 ring right now. I usually wearing a size 10. So it's, it's just things that happen. I said, it ain't a hand, boys. It's a hammer.
Yeah.
We got to keep throwing it. So
Yeah.
Jason, I was like, Jason, hop up. So I just started throwing punches. I was like, keep the adrenaline going. Don't think about it. And then luckily we didn't think about it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the boys walking out with you?
I think it's a great idea.
Here come the
think it's a great
boys.
Dude, we got to do it up. You got to be
Yeah,
a big
what?
fight in Vegas.
We're available.
Big fight in Vegas. Have you guys
clear whatever necessary?
Have you guys
I won't even
walked
play a
up
game.
NF
It's on a Sunday.
NFL rap? And you got see?
Or it'll probably be a Saturday night. You just fly back. Yeah, hey, Brave. Like,
Here we go.
come on now.
Hop on the PJ to
Imagine.
Vegas.
Oh, you have a fighter fighting for the belt or McGregor. Like, he wants me to walk to the ring with
Yeah.
him. Like,
I'm
you
sure
know, let me
Bray
do
will be
it.
like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Bray will be like, oh, yeah, for
Yeah, we're
sure.
good, bro.
And we can do like a
Just
20,
picture
like
me
a
and you, like, behind
February, late Feb 2023 Vegas fight. Well, how's
Yeah.
that look to you?
It could happen. It could
Do
happen.
you like that? Do you like that timeline?
I'm okay. I mean,
It's a good break.
It's a good break. I'm good to come back this
Don't.
winter.
He's got
Winter
his
slash
options open.
winter
tough for
slash
me.
early. But I did say that I was like, I actually told Bree that too this morning. I was like, we should. January, February would be great, man. We go watch the boys play like freaking every home game.
Let's
you
go.
know? Travel around,
I'll
man.
tell you what, if you can wait, I'll give you a ticket to every single home game, you and your family. So there's a nice little trade.
You heard it here first.
Yep.
Can you
Clip
clip
it.
that? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, wait.
Put them up. Pay for it. Hey, Bussin expense, baby.
Bussin
expense. Here we go.
Expense.
And then February, we got to be Vegas.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I've fallen in love with Vegas. I really enjoy going
Dude,
there.
it's a good little city, man.
It is a blast.
It is.
And if you do it right, you can spend a lot of time there.
Exactly. That's the thing. You got to
Right.
be able to do it right. The right
It's a
people.
quick way. It's like playing around in quicksand. Like there's a lot of fun shit, but you one wrong step
Wrong step.
and you lost everything.
You lost
know what I'm saying?
You
You
lost
don't want
everything.
that.
Everything.
You lost everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Your life is down the drain.
Yeah, and things aren't going so well anymore.
But I lived there for 2.5 years, actually.
Really?
Beginning of my career, yeah. But I lived like, 20, 25 minutes off the strip. So it's, when you're just living there, you're just living a normal desert life. It's like you're living in Arizona, except every now and then it's like, hey, we're doing this thing down on the strip, which is actually like the biggest hassle ever. It's like, hey, we're going to do this thing down on Broadway. And you're like, you really have to go to Broadway?
Yeah.
I get that. The strip is so much. I mean, when you just go there for 3 days at a time, it is like the most fun.
It's actually a lot of fun. Yeah. And that's,
Did you spend a lot of time down there
I mean, I did. Are you talking about the strip when I was in Vegas?
when you were in Vegas?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, you're in business.
We
mode.
were like probably 20 minutes south. Yeah, the boys were down there. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I've never lived in Arizona, but it feels like that desert.
Yeah,
vibe. There's a lot to do there. Like even not on the strip, like there's a lot of great food and shit like that. But yeah, we never.
Yeah, that's
never
the
went
thing.
down
Like
to the
you're
strip.
getting all the world renowned chefs and restaurants are at some place. You got Red Rock Canyon up there, like
Yeah.
Mount
Havasu.
Charleston, Havasu.
So we can walk down with you the next fight.
If I get season tickets.
done.
No, actually,
He said it. Just cut it right there.
Clip that
If
one
I
too.
get these tickets, they say done, and then it's over.
No, but honestly, the UFC, that's what I do love about them, man. They are cutthroat when it comes to like tickets and the show that they run and the tight ship that they have. I will say there was
be at a UFC fight.
oh yeah, but there was no COVID protocols in Arizona. Didn't take one COVID test, which is great. There was, we could finally have like family and friends and whatnot at the hotel. So obviously by the next time I fight, COVID protocols will be gone a little bit, even more so.
Vegas runs
So-
real hard, just like Arizona.
Yeah.
So what are you
Pretty
saying?
similar.
What I'm saying is I can't make any promises, but if I could
Walking
choose,
out, but a front row seat or something might.
How about this? We'll do.
I gotta keep pulling my weight around here in the UFC, and yeah, we'll
Listen to
just
this.
keep on making connections.
Yeah, we'll do
That's what we were talking
season
about
tickets,
last
yeah.
night. Remember, we got to get the boys are in the stands. Fucking give
You guys
the-
got to be
The stars
broadcasting
are with
live
us tonight.
You guys
Will
got to be
come to the
broadcasting
Bussin'
live.
with the boys.
Yeah, you guys got to be broadcasting live. That's what you
Yeah,
gotta
we
do,
could do that, but then we wouldn't be at the fight. It is something we should do, like a fight companion type thing that like Shab does.
bro.
We were supposed to do that with Shab, but I'll tell you what, season tickets for 4 front row seats.
I'm freaking.
Boom, and that sounds like a nice deal.
It does sound like
You,
a nice
me, and the girls, right? Well, we get 5 front row seats, and then we'll have like a real UFC fight back here for whoever wants to go.
Okay.
A winner take
And we
all.
got to videotape
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Sell pay per view.
Yeah,
Sell pay per view. Okay, we can. We'll talk about that.
boss will be pulling out the gun, sitting in that chair.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Gun in the badge. All right,
Oxnard,
boys.
California.
Nobody
dude.
move too fast. All right, nobody move.
Oxnard, California. Stand
Yeah.
up, dude.
But yeah, it was awesome, man. We're so fucking stoked for you.
Well, I'm
Fans. We're just fans
I'm
now.
fans of you guys, and I'm fans of the boys and the bus, and I'm freaking pumped to be here. This is, I mean, I got to go on the bus after every fight. Just a thing, man.
It fires me up.
You
dude.
know?
It's like
Little
I've
black
gotten
eye,
to the
little
point-
shiner.
I've gotten to the point of you like getting in your fights and shit. It brings me back like memories of Cody going out on the wrestling mat.
Yep.
And like for a state title or some shit like that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's like you just get those fucking. I don't know. You get like a little nervous.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You're
man.
kind of like leaning and shit. You're yelling at the fucking
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, it's like nothing else, man. It's really cool. I'm very happy that it is my career path. And I'm very happy that I've been able to do it for this long, man. When you're 36 and you've been doing it for almost 14 years, August it'll be 14 years. To be where I'm at now, arguably like I guess in the best spot I've ever been in my entire career. It just keeps going, and you just keep going until the wheels fall off,
Yeah.
or right before the wheels fall off, because you don't really want the wheels to fall
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
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 Just happy. We're just so happy now. Yeah.
I am fired up.
Yeah, dude.
We have a good tier talk. Should we do the tier talk?
Yo, let's hit that real quick. Revitalite. It is an advanced rehydration solution designed to replenish vital fluids and minerals. It's powered by the same electrolyte formula found in the baby aisle, but with an improved taste and texture more appealing to adults. Revitalite is conveniently sold next to beer, wine, and liquor. So when you shop like an adult, you can also hydrate responsibly. Barstool Black Label Berry Frost flavor. But pro tip here, just a quick one. Drink half at night and the other half in the morning for optimal results. Pick up your Revitalite Black Label today in stores or online at the Barstool store and tweet at us or tag at Drink Revitalite in your morning after stories.
Our tier talk that you're going to be a part of with us.
Tier
The
talk.
best trophies
Oh shoot.
in sports. There's a tier 1, a tier 2, a tier 3. So you'll rank what you feel are the best trophies you could acquire in all of professionalism.
And I was thinking about making a little change, and I want you to know, a little brainstorm right here.
Okay.
What if we start tier 3 and go up to tier 1? That way there's a little more anticipation. You guys like that?
Yeah, I like that
Okay,
move.
cool.
Good move.
I'll take that. You're not limited to the
Hey
list.
man, I'm
Yeah, not limited. Yeah, we got to say that again.
This is
not
just-
limited to the list. Like if there's something you're thinking of that's not on there, you can say that.
all right. I got one.
Okay. So what's your tier 3? Your third best, your bronze.
Yeah, hang on now. What do we have here?
Dan, this is hard, man, because I'm a homer for the individual sports. So I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
Okay.
The bottom right middle is the World Cup.
Yeah,
College
that's
football
okay.
trophies above it.
yeah, because he goes
So like
Lombardi.
it's basically
Oh,
like this is
Heisman.
like first,
So you get,
second,
like,
third.
MVP of the league.
give me your third place, then your second place, and your first place.
Like the Grammy on there. Get a first nom-
Yeah.
Individual for a team sport. But yeah.
So let me
Okay.
ask a question. Would the gold jacket for Hall of Fame be included?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's any major accolade in sports, music.
Yeah, it's like a trophy.
entertainment. Yeah.
Like a belt's not a trophy,
You're on
but
the
it's a
Moon
trophy.
Man, MTV, whatever you want.
So I'm gonna. Do I go first?
Yeah, you're gonna go first. You're the
please,
guest. You're the
please.
All
guest.
right. So my third, I'm going with the golf Masters jacket. Oh. Because I think there's a lot of similarities between golf and mixed martial arts or wrestling, like individual sports.
Okay, like just give it its flowers and don't mention like
Equally,
UFC,
equally physical.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I think there's a lot of
I'm gonna give you
carryover.
your
Be better on the
flowers.
mic.
I'm gonna
Be
give
better
you
on the
your
mic.
flowers. Yeah, dude. PR Willie over here. All right. And then I know, right? Hey, and then actually, I'm going to change my tune. I'm going World Cup as the silver because I think as much as we love our American sports, that is the global.
It's very
sport,
progressive
right?
of you.
Right? Well, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
That's
care
very,
about the
that's
global.
very not Missouri of
I
you.
don't-
All your
I don't
fans in
care about
Missouri
the
are like,
global
what is
aspect
that?
of it. I'm just saying you're talking about.
Missouri just got soccer like 2 years
You're
ago.
talking about millions of people compared to like billions of
Where they're
people.
kicking the ball? That's kind of
Billions
cool,
of
isn't it?
people are watching you win the World Cup. Like that's
Oh, they
right.
call it football somewhere else?
And then
better than our
number
football.
one, I'm going UFC lightweight belt. Duh.
Of course.
Of course you are,
I
dude.
know, what a homer.
That's a decent
Taylor, you
one.
go second.
No, you go
No,
first.
no, I've went second
always-
a couple
it
times.
always goes like this.
It always
but
does
I
go
don't
left,
wanna
right, dude. PR Willie.
Yeah, but I want to go
You got
last.
something.
I need a little bit more time to think.
Rock, paper, scissors. One game. Leave it up to
One
chance.
game, shoot or no shoot. We always do this. Why change what's great?
Because I still want to think a little bit more of mine. Like I feel like I don't have mine yet.
Right?
That's the only reason.
You already.
I'll just
Hey,
go.
you
I'm
knew
ready.
This was coming.
I'm
How
ready.
do you need to think about it more?
Because I see more stuff and they add like
Oh,
Hall
okay.
of Fame. They're adding like a couple more individual things where I feel like there would be a good argument.
My heart's
if
kind of
we're-
pounding.
If we're doing just trophies.
My heart's pounding because I wasn't ready.
What
I
about
like
that-
to hear everybody's
Hey,
first.
what about that hammer
I'll give you
thing?
this
I'd like
one.
to hear people's too.
I'll give you this one, but from now on.
Hey, but
Okay.
can we add the hammer thing
You
that
heard
you
it.
win at
You heard it.
Nebraska? That hammer, the big hammer
50%
thing?
time, 50.
The hammer thing that you won at Nebraska?
Hammer
At your
down.
house? The sledgehammer thing that you have at your house.
Michael-
That's for a Titans award. Like that was like
Oh, it was Titans. It wasn't
Yeah.
Nebraska.
No, it wasn't.
Well, that
Oh,
might
okay.
be in your tier list. Hold on. They don't. It might be in
the
there.
hammer for.
All right,
on the back of the game.
my number 3 is gonna go to a friend of mine, someone who visited recently, and that is Lord Stanley, the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
My number
Oh, that's
3.
right, yeah.
I think
I think that's lower than I thought that you would have it.
it's the coolest trophy. I really do think it's the coolest looking trophy. I love the fact that all the names are on it and history, just history after history after history. And it's just pretty unbelievable. So Lord Stanley goes 2. Now I'm going to be a little homer with you on this one as well.
Play to the audience.
I'm going to have to go with the Lombardi Trophy as my tier 2. the second best trophy you can ever acquire in your entire life. It's a profession of mine. It's something I've been chasing since I've decided that football is my dream.
Mm-hmm.
But my tier one is the greatest trophy of all time. And that is on November 12th, when Michigan and Nebraska fight for the Bussin Bowl. The most electric, amazing trophy anyone will ever witness in their entire life. My heart was pounding. Oh, man. Whoa, dude. Just trying to get that out.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that's why you hit me with, let me go last. And I was like, I'm just going to steal from him then.
Like, man, I really don't
I'm
know.
going to steal that
'Cause
thunder
my,
from
my
him.
hands are sweating a little bit.
Bro,
You got a real like Burt Kreischer delivery on
you know
your.
what I did? Because I
That was
stole it
good.
from Burt Kreischer. I heard him do it like that.
I knew this.
I heard him do it like that. I'm going to start doing mine like that.
Yeah, you're like.
And here's
third-
a real
you go-
sleeper
you go
here.
third-
Yeah, I hit that last
you go
week. I hit this
third-
week,
There
bro.
was a bit of a sleeper. I go, oh, the week right after. the week right after Burt did it. Man, that's a good fucking pull. I feel like it rattled me a little bit.
Well,
Don't get rattled, dude.
hey, don't dick red.
All right, I think my number 3. Man.
Baked beans.
Fuck, dude.
Hey, man. You're subject to change.
I know.
Like
I
my
know.
tier talk last week with my sides. I would change those now. My sides would be
What would you
different.
change him to?
Well, I think it's your turn to talk.
I was trying to buy a little bit more time.
I know you are.
Uh,
Well, tell me about that.
I would say my number 3. I love the Bussin Bowl pool. I feel like, you know what? I'm not gonna go with that. Is this like what I would want to win personally?
Hey,
I'm sorry.
It's your segment.
I
It's
know.
ours.
I'm
Like,
just excited. Like, there's
hey,
a lot of great awards out
tell me
there.
when you need me.
I would say my number 3 would be the Masters green jacket. I think it would be pretty iconic
Get
to
off it.
win the Masters green jacket. I really do. Like, I'm not a golfer, but I feel like the mystique of it, every time it's presented, it feels like you're in some club forever. Like it's a fraternity forever. Like, I know the Heisman is, like I know the Hall of Fame is, like I feel like those are cool, but Hall of Fame, you don't get that jacket until you're old as fuck. You know what I mean? And the green jacket, you win it, like you're gonna get that thing put on you. And I love Happy Gilmore.
Just give
You're
us-
first ballot Hall of
just give
Fame. You
us
get it
flowers,
5 years
dude.
after you retire.
That's true. You're right. I could. Yeah. No. I guess I'm looking at
Joe
those-
Thomas will
those
have it
guys.
in 2
For
years.
sure. But you're hanging out with a lot of like old guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, lemon party. You know not about that.
Right.
Okay.
I'm trying to like get that green jacket, and you're just ready to get after it with the boys. Like, hey, I'm in here now. My number 2, I'm going to say is the being the champion in the UFC, being a UFC champion, because you're the baddest man on the planet.
You're an eye guy right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
That's what you're doing. Okay.
You're the baddest man on the planet, and I think that is like.
SEAL Team 6.
That would be so fucking dope to like have that title. Like, I'm the baddest, like the heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
If you're a good, like you can move well heavyweight champion, like not like some saying John
Like a
Jones
Lesnar?
is going to be the champion, but like a John Jones who could be a light heavyweight, he can be a heavyweight. Like, you're the baddest man on the fucking.
Yeah, he's
planet.
got some bend. He's a little lean.
Yeah, Lesnar
Yeah.
too, like when
Yeah.
he couldn't be touched. But yes,
Yeah.
the reason that is not my number 1, or like a boxing heavyweight championship is not my number 1, is because it's so fluid. Like, it's not a forever thing. Like, yeah, you were the champion at one point in time, but it's extremely fluid. It's kind of not forgotten about, but it's always moving. This is why my number 1 is the Lombardi Trophy. I feel like if you win the Lombardi Trophy and you hoist the fucking Lombardi, like the documentaries and stuff like on NFL Films, NFL Network, again, like the mystique of it, like you're ingrained as the champion, the greatest football team in the world, like at that moment of time, and it can't like be taken away from you.
Wow.
Because I think the Lombardi would be the sickest. I think Lombardi would be the dopest, the hype with your boys, because you only get like now it's 17 opportunities. It was 16, but then you got the playoffs. Like, it's a sport that like demands shit all year round. And if you win it with the fucking boys, like all the grind, like think of all the times where you're like up and down with either the head coach, your position coach, yourself, with the boys around you, and you're just in the fucking gutter for a long period of time. And then you get to the playoffs and you win and you stack that momentum. And then you go to fucking the Super Bowl 2 weeks ahead of time and you're like, yo, I'm in this fucking moment.
You think about it? You think you like admire the fact that you're there, or is it like I got business to take care of?
I think a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you like I think you'd be a lot business, but you also like gotta appreciate like being there. Like hearing Tom Brady talk about his dad, like he's won so many that he gets to like. I feel like he has like a
Like Tic
perspective
Tacs
every time on it
Yes, yeah.
versus like being there for the first time. But I do think it's like you win that fucking trophy, dude, and you win the Super Bowl. Everybody in the world's watching on that day, and you hoist that thing up like. You got that trophy and you're known as like that year of champion forever. And you'll get like documentaries made about you or about you and the team and you and the boys. And it's something that you guys will go and have parties about. So I think Lombardi's number one.
I like that.
Lombardi,
I
UFC
think the
champ,
thing too,
Master Chef.
the gold medal's huge. The World Series is huge. Grammy, Oscar. Those are all things too.
Those would be cool.
They're
Those
good.
would be
Those would be
fucking
cool.
bro.
They need their what's that?
Yeah.
There's a ring that comes with that Lombardi too.
That's true.
That's right. That
Yeah,
ring on your
I'm
hand.
talking about the slow motion, like confetti's falling down. And I'm just like,
And you go like this?
boy, like you're just like, yeah, Tom doing it. Like all of that shit. We fucking
The greatest
did it.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
I
holding.
think it
your
is,
breath.
like,
And the whole world's watching.
The whole world's watching. I feel like it's got to be like the greatest like feeling for several days and a month. Like I don't know. I
It's the
think
best feeling forever. You look
Yeah,
back
bro.
and you're like, damn. And it's one of those things like even if you played bad, like
Oh, yeah.
the stats
Right.
don't matter in that
like,
game.
It's all. We get to like close the book on like we fucking did it.
Yeah. Everyone talks about it. 32 teams talk about it every single year.
Yeah.
They have a picture of it in their team meeting room. They say, boys, right there, that's the goal. That's the be all end all of when you want to be.
Yeah.
If you're on the Titans, Rabel talks, I've had 3 of those things.
Yeah.
If you're in the Patriots, they've had 1 billion of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just one
And
thing
Vrabel's like
after another.
still trying to chase
Obtain
those
it.
moments.
He's still
You know
trying
what
to
I mean?
chase
Like,
that
the
high.
moment's so great. Like
Yeah.
we got to fucking get back there.
The
That's why
greatest.
I think that Lombardi would be his numero uno.
I can't believe the Bussin Bowl didn't even make your tier.
I know. I was thinking about it, but you know, I was like thinking selfishly a little bit more. Like I'm thinking, man, I don't get to play for the Bussin Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I'm not part of it.
Yeah.
Not that I
Where
like it, if
where
I
is the
don't-
Bussin Bowl this year?
November 12th, it'll be at Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And then is it next year in Nebraska? And then
Yeah, they're playing the next 8
Wherever
years in a
it'll
row.
be-
They're playing the next 8 years in a row.
Yeah. But do they flip flop
let's-
each year? Like
I believe so. They should.
Yeah.
They
Hopefully.
should. Yeah.
dude, doesn't Michigan have one of the biggest stadiums in the
Yeah.
V.
They're like
The,
is
not
this
one
still
of.
the
It's
biggest?
V. Yeah.
The big house,
dude?
It's just the
What is it? 90,000,
The big-
120,000 something?
100. The biggest I played in was 116,000. Yeah, it's monster, dude.
bro.
Monster. Weirdly quiet for how many people are in there though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so weird.
Weirdly quiet that it's not quiet. Like
No, it's not.
still
It's not quiet. It's
loud.
still a loud stadium. But like Penn State, what I hear Tennessee is like, Nebraska, those teams, like you go there and you're like, I can't fucking. Like, I'm yelling at you. I'm mouthing things to you, and you can't hear what I'm
Hear it.
saying.
dang.
Yeah, there's NFL stadiums that are louder too, like Kansas City.
Kansas City on a
Seattle.
primetime game. Seattle,
Oh
yeah,
my!
for sure, dude.
Kansas City in the playoffs and the home of the Chiefs. And you're just like,
your
oh,
your heart.
that was my first NFL game ever,
You
and no
feel
one
like you're
told
back
me.
in like a big college atmosphere.
Dude.
Oh, you really do. And they're yelling at you, screaming at you. Baltimore playoffs divisional game against Baltimore. Lights start flickering.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
start going crazy. Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP that year.
because it's so loud in there.
The
you're
lights are
saying?
flickering because they're doing like a with
Oh,
music
okay.
type of thing. It's electric. It's absolutely electric in that stadium.
Dude.
Yeah, your pace, your lion pace back and forth.
Yeah, you're pacing back and forth. Playoff hype, dude. Playoff hype is the dopest
In
shit ever.
Philly too.
There's no better feeling than playoffs because you feel like there's no other option than winning. Like
Well,
you don't even think about the thought of losing.
Well, think about what you guys just talked about the trophy and winning the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, that's those couple games in the playoffs. That's what you're fighting for at that point. That's what you're
Yeah,
training.
no
Like,
doubt. It's the
playing
coolest
for.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
takes it all to the next level
Yeah.
where it's like, all right, boys, now it's do or die. Now we're one of the chosen few.
Yeah.
Now next week we want to be
Go
the
home.
yeah. That's when it's fun.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
That's
it's always
like,
fun.
It's always fun, but when those games matter, like December, and
Goodness.
you're winning and
Oh,
getting
dude.
in and stuff like that, like football's fucking awesome.
I know it actually sucks whenever the season's over. You're like, for me as a fan, I'm like, what would I do now?
I was gonna say, as a fan, it definitely
Yeah.
sucks when the season's over.
As a player, it's like, thank God the season's
Yeah,
over.
for you guys, you're like, thank God, my
Yeah, when
body
you get
hurts.
to it depends on how the season goes, right? If like you're not gonna make the playoffs, like when you're in those years where it's like we're not gonna make the playoffs, boys, it's the beginning of December and you know it. It's like,
Yeah.
get me the fuck out of here, dude. This
What's
is
our
awful.
Christmas schedule gonna be like?
Right.
Oh, please,
Coach, you
we're
put
not
someone
in
else
the
Right.
in.
building.
You
Yeah.
put someone else in.
But when you're in it, like this
Yeah, when it
year,
means
being the number one seed,
Yeah.
the number one seed, you're like thinking like, oh, we got a bye week. We're about to fucking put hands on whoever. And then we watch that week and you're watching, it's either gonna be the Raiders or the Bengals. Okay.
Yeah.
they're duking it out. And here I'm sitting there watching it with Will. And in my head, I'm like, I'm watching these teams, but I'm like not watching to watch the game. I'm watching to like, what are they like? Who's a better matchup for us?
Right.
Who, you know, all that
Yep.
stuff. Then you get in that week and there's no wavering on the fact that there's a chance you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh, we're going to fucking win this game by
Yeah.
a billion if we can. And the first play of the game is an interception. You're like, oh,
That's how we
what?
do it up. Yeah.
But then our defense does such a great job. Like even when we threw that interception, we went off on the sidelines. We're like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like we spotted
That's
the
bad.
Colts
That's a good
14
spot to
points.
be in, man.
I mean, even the year before when we were playing Baltimore, and it's like, I didn't think we were still losing that game until we're in the middle of the fourth quarter. It's like, hey, we got to score a fucking touchdown. boys.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's just wild, dude. It's wild.
Crazy. And because you don't know if you're ever going to get back. Like if
That's
you're
the thing,
if you're a
right?
fighter and you're in it, like, and you're an elite guy, like you'll be in the mix. You get the belt, you might lose the belt. Like you're in the mix. Like when you're playing football, bro. Like I've been in.
There's
I've
so many
played for
variables.
9 years and
Yeah.
I've only been in the playoffs twice, and I was done the first round both. I was done in the first
Yeah.
round both times.
Wow, yeah.
So it's like you just never know if you're gonna get back, no matter how good your team is. The roster changes that year, that next year.
Yeah.
So you're like, even though you're the man,
Everybody
you're
else's
like a
teams are
Tom
getting
Brady
better.
team, yeah.
Like all of a sudden the AFC West start taking steroids this year. You're like,
Right,
oh
right,
fuck,
right.
what's gonna we have to
You
play
just don't know
them?
if you're gonna be back. So like when you're in the playoffs, you're like, yo, this is our fucking moment. Like we got the boys for this year. Like
Mhm.
you got all your players. This person's in their prime. Like this is our shot to like make the run
Right.
at the Super Bowl.
This is it. This
Like
is
it.
it. And then
Yeah,
you go into
that's
next year and you're like the confidence is still there because you've done it before.
Yep.
Even the playoffs, but like nothing's guaranteed to you anymore.
No, well, yeah, like you said,
You know?
everything changes a little bit every year, but the culture too. As you keep building that culture, you guys.
Right.
The
are
cool
number
thing
one
too is
seed.
like in the
Now
NFL,
it's not necessarily expected, but it's almost becoming like how we expected.
yeah,
You got the main guys, which is exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, like I've been playoff 4 times, and it's just like I'm just lucky because I played on a team that's been able to make the playoffs 4 times. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of just get lucky in those situations. And the cool thing about the NFL is every single week there's no like, we can drop one. Basketball, you can drop one. Baseball, drop a couple. Who cares? Hey, long season, boys.
Yeah.
Like you drop one, you're like, fuck. Okay, we're 0-1.
Yeah.
All right, what do we do now? We have to get back on track. 1-1. We're just 500 now.
Yeah.
Like we have to win this game. 1 and 2. Like oh fuck.
Like 1 and 3 is like, oh, we're in a must-win situation.
We're in a must-win situation. 1 and 3, a quarter of the season's done.
Yeah.
1 and 3, and you just fighting.
Essentially,
All
when
the
can
training-
when can your season be over for the for like teams who have lost a couple?
It depends
Not
on
season, but
it
not
depends
be
on-
over, but
Mathematically, you're talking about mathematics.
mathematically, when are you definitely not making the playoffs?
Oh,
depends
you
on
could be
your
looking at
division.
late
okay.
November and being like, oh, it's over.
Because you could have an insane division like the AFC.
West.
No, with the Niners.
NFC.
NFC West, my fault.
Yeah.
The NFC West last year, where it's like the Arizona Cardinals, the Niners, fucking
The Rams.
Seahawks, and the Rams, and they all have like good records, right?
Everyone's like, that's the best
Like
division of
three-
football.
Like 3 teams can make the playoffs, but then you got like the NFC East, where it's the Redskins, Eagles, Dallas, and the Giants, and
Giants.
everybody's like not playing that well.
Yeah.
And like one team can get into the playoffs, but everybody's kind of like 500.
Yeah.
So it kind of just depends on how your division's doing.
Right. Exactly.
We're just like juicing them up about ball. Like
I
we
love
just
ball,
talk
dude.
about
Fire. It's fucking
Lombardi
unbelievable.
games.
I'm getting more and more into it these days.
You know what's a little sleeper league right now is AFC North with Bengals,
Remind me of the
Browns,
Yeah.
Baltimore, and who was that last one in there?
You say
Pittsburgh
Steelers?
and the Steelers. Like it used to be the Steelers running that forever. Like you don't know now. Ben Roethlisberger's kind of gone, but that Deshaun Watson just went to AFC
A lot of good
North.
ball coming this year.
Bengals, dude. The AFC. You know what I'm saying?
The SEC.
Yo, low key. Now don't sleep on the NFC. Now I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying a lot of good players went to certain areas and they're all looking really fucking good.
Yeah. There's
AFC
gonna
is
be
kind
a
of like
lot
a
of good ball
bludgeoning
this year,
bloodbath
bro.
out there.
A lot of good football coming.
I was looking at
Football.
I was looking at
Lot
the
of good
schedule.
football.
Somebody sent me the schedule a couple hours early, and I'm looking at that. And Will and I were playing the game. Like conservatively, what do we think? And we start. Okay, let's just say we split with this team. Let's just say this happens, and you're like, then you start playing the numbers game with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what will we end up at?
Super Bowl champs.
11-6.
I think so. That was like a trying to be conservative.
Yeah.
But
We're
I
trying
mean,
to do the-
just
we're
sit
trying
there
to do the
and
best we
say,
could
"Oh, we'll
not
be
be
11-6" is like so cocky to say.
Yeah.
Like his perfect example is last year we win the AFC or win number 1 AFC and go to the playoffs, but you lose to the Jets, which no disrespect to the Jets, but it wasn't a great year for the Jets.
Yeah.
We should have beaten that team handedly because we were a better team right then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You drop you just drop some games. You're like, what are we doing? You know, Titans.
Titans.
It happens, man.
And that's football. It's any given fucking Sunday, dude.
No question, dude.
Sunday.
It's really like that. They're like, oh, I can't believe you guys lost to this team. It's like, they're paid.
Yeah.
Right. Dudes make plays. Dudes are paid.
I mean, last year, because when we got our asses whooped by the Chiefs, and then,
Donkey.
yeah.
It was your first game there, right?
Yeah, Chiefs were my first game there. And I was like, oh,
He's talking about when he went to the Raiders.
yeah, when I went to the Raiders, the Chiefs, they just absolutely mopped the floor with us. And
like
we
held them down,
then
non-consensual.
We pull off a game against the Browns, and then we go at Indy. And Indy at that point in time was like the team that was fucking rolling. Like Jonathan Taylor had figured it out.
Yeah.
Like he's crushing it. Like fantasy football, all of it. Like they had found their identity. It's like, oh, there's no way like we're gonna go in and beat fucking Indy at Indy. And then
which is one of the weirdest stadiums to play at.
Right.
Really?
And then you end up beating Indy, so you just never fucking know. And then the Colts drop like a few games and don't even make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Jags. There was a win and get in against the Jags last game of the year, and they lost.
Lost to the Jags.
To the Jaguars.
But the Jaguars
that's a team
also
that's, like, ready
the
to,
Jaguars
like,
also
get us
beat the
home.
Bills,
Yes.
who were, I don't know, a coin flip away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is fucking crazy. They beat them 9-3
You
with
really
the most
never
like
know,
insane offense ever with Josh Allen and the boys.
bro. Yeah.
Crazy. Stephon Diggs. We gotta play them week 3, week 2, week 2. We go Giants, them, the Bills, and then we go Raiders. Then who's after that? The team formerly known as the Redskins. No, that's week 5. Indianapolis, then them. The Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. The
'Cause we play the whole NFC East. We play the whole NFC West. The Bengals. And the Packers. Yeah. It's a grueling schedule. But if you look at the schedule, you're like, damn, that's a pretty heavy schedule. And at the same time, like you look at like strength of schedule because of like how teams fared last year, we're like towards the bottom of like win percentage.
24.
I know you look at any NFL schedule, it's like, oh man, that's gonna be a tough schedule.
But you look at
Everything's based on 2021.
like preseason. Yeah, 2022.
before.
The last whatever the last season was, 2022.
Last season.
Like the Raiders got a whole lot better. The Broncos totally changed their entire team. Chargers totally changed their entire team, and they were about to be in the playoffs last year. Jaguars.
New head
Jaguars are a
coach.
team that any moment can be good.
New
Any
head
moment.
coach.
What's that?
Peterson.
Jaguars?
Yes, I'm telling you, dude. The AFC South is a sneaky competitive division. Could be a sneaky competitive division.
My buddy has lived in Jacksonville his entire life, and
Yeah.
he's just like, man, it's the hardest thing being in
They've
Jacksonville.
got players over there, dude. They've got dudes. You got to be like, okay, all right, what are we gonna do about this guy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cowboys always good. They fucking throw. Dak Prescott throws for 1 billion yards every single year. But they also got rid of Amari Cooper, right? Who went to the Browns, who we play this year. When do we play the Browns? December 24th, I think.
New Year's Eve? Or
Do you guys play the
Christmas Eve?
Browns?
I thought we played the Browns this year.
No, it doesn't look like it. You got the Bengals.
Yeah, we played the Bengals instead of the Browns.
Smash them, dude.
Bengals?
Yeah.
I mean, and you look at this from a DN.
Let's go.
Like if you're a player, you look at it from your standpoint. Okay, who am I playing against? Week 1, who are we playing? The Giants? Kayvon Thibodeau, 5th overall pick. That's the worst type of dude you want to play because I have no idea what the fuck he does. I have no idea. And you're playing week 1, he's going to have 35 snaps of preseason film on there.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I hope I can.
And he's high on that first game. Like, right?
Yeah, he's in the first game. He's a rookie. Like, you don't know. Like,
Oh,
some
yeah, he's
dudes.
gonna be coming out
Is
trying
that
to get it.
is that usually a good thing? Like with a talent like
You
that,
wanna
you're
play
like,
a rookie-
hey,
you
he's
wanna
gonna
play a
have
rookie.
good first year. He's gonna come out firing.
You want to play a
Or-
rookie like 3-4 games in.
Really?
Because then you have enough film to know what they're going to do.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
anyone can beat you if you don't know. It's like you go into a fight without knowing how the fuck this
Yeah, I guess
person
it's true,
fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure that out. Next game after that is who? The Bills. Yeah, you have Von Miller, Mario Addison. I think Jerry Hughes is still there. He may or may not be. I know we had that conversation before. Raiders, we don't even talk about it. Circle that motherfucker right there, Chandler Jones. You know what I'm saying? I went from the Cardinals and the Raiders. That boy keep following me around. Colts, Yannick Ngakoue was a Pro Bowler at the Jaguars. Like these are studs coming out. Washington Commanders. What's Buddy Chase Young from Ohio State and Sweat. Their whole D line are first round picks. So from a D line standpoint, that's hard. Bye week, Colts. Once again, Yannick Ngakoue. Texans. Who's that kid's name? Josh Martin. No, Jacob Martin. Quick, fast, does a good swipe, just like
Did Jerry
Yannick.
Hughes sign with Houston?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
Jerry Hughes, another sleeper player because he doesn't play the run. And so now you got a fucking low-key pass pro
Now,
and run
do you-
blocking.
would you do something where you like you have the video guy bring up like college film from
Yeah.
the most recent thing?
Yeah, I'll have college film of Kayvon. Chiefs, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, studs. Broncos, Bradley Chubb, stud. Packers, Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, but I think Zadarius is gone now, right?
Oh yeah, I think
Okay,
he is
so
on.
Preston Smith, and then the kid from Michigan who was a first-round pick, studs. Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, white boy, stud. Eagles, first-round pick from Tennessee. What is his name? Derek Barnett, stud. Jaguars, Josh Allen, and the new Kayvon Walker kid from Georgia, stud. Chargers, Khalil Mack, Bosa, studs. You got then you go Houston again. You go Cowboys. Is your boy still there?
Gregory, he didn't. He's matter of fact, I think he's with the Broncos.
Okay, Randy Gregory
Gregory's
with the Broncos, stud.
Randy Gregory.
Cowboys. What's
Yeah,
DeMar-
Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence has been there, and they picked up somebody allegedly, stud. And then you go back to the Jags. Like that is from a DN standpoint, that's a schedule now.
It's a good schedule.
Yeah,
Good.
Peas, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, this is just getting freaking.
I feel you
just
too.
getting in
Because
a fight
like
every
as a
every
backer,
snap.
you want to see what kinds of offenses you're playing.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh fuck, they like to throw the ball around a lot. They like to spread it out. They like to throw it to the running back a lot.
You like how these? For me, I like how this is spaced out. The schedule, how it looks, though. I like it.
Yeah.
You got some back end games you're proud of. You hope you can kind of pull off. You got the beginning. The beginning is a tough little start. You know, I don't know. We opened up as like a -6.5. What's that? Yeah, week 6 bye can kick fucking rocks.
The week 6 bye is fucking tough, especially with the longer
Yes.
schedule. Now it's just.
But it's in the middle of
year.
Spooktober, which is a
That's a good
big
time.
deal
That's a
for our
big time.
Spooktober.
Let's just hope the boys are rolling. Let's just hope the boys are rolling undefeated.
Yeah, for real.
Get a good bye week in Spooktober.
Because the Colts are going to be legit, as always. They're like, that's a team that's like, they're a team like us where you could lose a bunch of guys and they'll still be good. Like we set a record for most injuries in the NFL this year, and we still won games. Like Frank Wright, what he does, I don't know him personally, but I respect the shit of him as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's a stud.
it's a perennial tough team.
Yeah, the boys are getting some love though for primetime games. The only thing that does suck is that early bye week. The early bye week is always
a dick
tough.
kicker, dude. You want that bye
So
week?
what, you got 10 straight games till the
11.
playoff, 11 straight games till the playoffs.
12. Week 6, right? There's 17 games now.
5.
It just got worse and worse in 45 seconds. You know what I'm saying? 12
Yeah,
straight
sure, 12
games.
Straight games. If it would have been the
What's
old
the
schedule,
earliest you could have a
I'm
bye?
pretty sure
I
it's
think
week 6.
I think it's 6
Week
now.
6, that's great.
If it would have been 2 years ago that you guys would have had a bye in week 4 because week 4 was
Yeah.
the first bye.
Oh, I've had that before too. I've had that week 4
Nah,
bye.
That's the hardest thing.
And you're kind of like, what are we doing? Like, I kind of feel fine. I guess the only thing that's good is, I guess hopefully the weather breaks this week so it's not as hot outside, you know?
Yeah.
It's a grinder, dude. It's a
Oh, God, I can
grinder.
Imagine.
But it's a crazy different sport you and I play.
Yeah.
Or the 3 of us play.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you're fighting, you're chilling. And then you're like, all right, when do you start training again? How much time are you gonna take before you're like legit training?
Yeah.
10 weeks before fight?
Yeah. I mean, I'll stay. I basically just stay in shape.
Yeah,
and
you stay ready. I know
I
you.
Stay ready, stay in shape. Especially now in the UFC, there's so many more options. Like it you know, they could have the title fight set a month and a half from now to fight 3 months from now, and all of a sudden someone gets hurt, and I'm like, well, hey, I'll do it. But more than anything, yeah, I just like to stay in shape. But it's not beating my body. I'm not sparring. I'm not doing a ton of grappling and wrestling and all these things that are going to hurt my body. I'm doing strength and conditioning, trying to become a better athlete. I'm like getting pounded on and then taking maybe a day off and then getting straight into it the next day, like you.
You do fucking grind. That boy does grind.
Yeah.
I try to grind.
Appreciate you coming on, dude.